hilarious, man. It's our life, our fucking life. It's
But it was good.
it is actually really tasty. It kind of like I don't know. It's just good. It's got a good
Okay
You
robust flavor.
talking about that got me because I forgot it's getting close to Christmas, and around this time, one of my aunts makes this crazy ass good like pineapple mango punch with ginger ale. There's a lot of stuff in it, but she only does it around Christmas, and like I can taste it already, and now I'm super excited.
I feel like I've had that too. I
It's
can't
so good.
remember
Oh,
who
it's
made
so
it for me
good.
though.
That sounds so
We
good.
used to make something in catering that was like that.
Oh, that's what it was. It was in catering. I
Yeah, we used to
remember.
make whatever the fuck it was called, but it was like
It was like
Sprite and pineapple juice and grenadine and stuff.
yeah, because it was like a
They're
pink
good.
color.
Yeah.
Memories.
Memories.
Before the virus attacked.
I know.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Has
Yeah,
it been a
last
six?
session.
Yeah. Has
I'm still
all
very
right.
sad.
About
It was pretty underwhelming.
What?
I mean, we can go
Just
back and fight that dude if you want to go aggressive.
No,
We
I'm
can,
sad about
we
leaving
can go
our
loud. We
friends
can take the
behind.
silencers off, and we could just do it.
Well,
meanwhile,
like-
Carter's like, we have missed a murder. We have missed a murder
Right? We
opportunity.
could go back and murder him. It's true.
it's somewhere in the cards, like somewhere in the deck of cards of things we need to deal with to go and infiltrate that place. I just don't want to do it right now. Well, we're still kind of living here at the Burgomasters. I don't want to implicate them.
with
So,
a shit
we'll come
with
back.
a shit ton on our list of things to do.
Yeah, we got other things to keep ourselves busy. It'll help shake the suspicion. He'll be fine playing with that dress for a bit, and we'll come back and whatever the fuck he's
I
doing.
really do not want to imagine that.
I asked him. He
He's
did not
adding
answer
a
me.
little extra sauce to it. Ugh.
Oh, yeah,
Ugh.
apparently.
All right, time
Also,
to get
why did this
demonetized.
make
Woo!
this? Why did this make this spicy?
It's
I guess it
apple
kind of
Really?
is a
cider.
little bit spiced, isn't it? It is kind
It's
of like
Is it
Not-
spicy or acidic?
It's spicy.
kind of like cinnamon spicy.
Yeah, but
Oh.
like super cinnamon, like to the point where it's like triggering like
I'm sorry, I
spices.
Did
I
you
didn't
guys
realize
figure out
that's
the
what I was
recipe for
tasting.
Fireball?
That was
Is
my
that what
bad.
happened?
Yes,
That's
I
kind
have
of what
Gold
it
created.
slugger.
I have created a non-alcoholic Fireball that actually pretty much sums up what I'm
Right?
drinking right now.
Or
That's what
gold
it tastes
Kind of,
like.
slugger.
yeah. It's weird. Why is
Uh,
it spicy?
That was my bad. Anyway,
Just gonna drink my
Anyway.
I
spicy
believe
ginger ale now. All right.
we
I
had
don't-
a long, heartfelt talk with our two dear friends.
Indeed.
Uh,
That was at night, from what I remember.
said our goodbyes, sent our message to Strahd, cracked
You
out
did.
a
You did. That's right.
bottle of wine,
Drank to
and
forget.
yeah, and we spent the night chatting and just nonsense, just bullshitting.
That is very fair. Just to set the scene, how much are we drinking?
The entire bottle. Like I've already I marked it off the bag of holding at the end of the last one.
Okay,
It's
so
one of-
the entire
it's one of-
bottle between like six of you.
Between, like,
yeah, between the six of us, so we're
Mhm.
getting drunk but not sloshed.
I really
It's
want
healthy.
to see Demots drunk.
If we won't, he reaches in. He's like, I've got more. I'm happy to,
How many more do you have?
He reaches in. He pulls out. Let's see. Hold on. I'm pulling out my bag of holding right now. All right. So I got one more of this one that we've been drinking. That's the Red Dragon Crush. He pulls out another one. I got one of. Oh, that one's half full. Oh, we should probably finish that one too. Purple Grape Mash. And then I got another full bottle that is full, right? And he kind of like taps the cork. Yeah, it's full. Full bottle of purple grape mash. So I got 2.5 more bottles. And he just has all of them sitting out on the table in front of him now.
Are we going to drink all of these or
Yep. I mean, what if we die tomorrow?
Fair.
That's a good point.
Wine's no good for you when you're dead, because then apparently you turn into a child and you can't drink it.
Those seem to be our experience so
I
far.
almost forgot you told me
I
that.
just prefer to handle these types of things with a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a hefty drunk.
Also, yeah, Dumas drunk. Here, Dumas, drink! She pushes like one of the half bottles in front of Dumas.
Okay, he will accept it.
So there's basically half a bottle for each of us now.
Eh,
I'm gonna
Dumas will-
leave the wine types because I like having their names, but yeah, that's all
You just
he
gotta put a
had.
0 in front of it.
All
He's
right.
going to also place out for anybody's entertainment one more potion of wild. If anybody wishes to
no.
take it,
I
it'll just
haven't
be
done it yet.
he'll just kind of take it out and he'll be like, fuck it, and he'll put it on the table in front of him, and he's just gonna sit back.
Me.
On that note,
Jess is just sitting
actually,
raising her hand.
Carter, can you roll me a perception check?
Yeah.
Watch Jess like take it and explode and burn the entire house down.
Hilarious.
Watch Jess take it and have the same thing that happened with
Ark.
Oh no!
God damn it.
Oh,
Which
God.
one of the 10?
All of
What if
it.
Jess
All
gets a
of it.
beard? What if she just
That would
gets
be
a
funny,
beard?
yes.
I hope not. Carter, you glancing around at the rest of your friends, you guys continue to drink. There's quite a few wine bottles on the table. You notice, weirdly enough, that you keep drinking and drinking and drinking, and you're not feeling the effects of the alcohol. In fact, at all.
Like none of us?
No, just Carter.
Oh,
Just
Carter.
As
That
a
also
as a
happened
pirate,
last
I gotta tell you, this is probably the worst trade deal I've ever encountered.
night.
It's weird because you can see the rest of them getting, slowly tipsy and then further towards drunk, but it's almost like drinking water. I mean, obviously it has a taste, but it's just so strange.
That's honestly worse. The fact that it still has a taste, but it has no effect. This is the worst of both worlds.
Craig kind of looks at it and is like, "What's wrong? Something wrong with your glass?"
I'm
Does it
gonna
taste weird?
take a guess here because I distinctly remember drinking one of these potions and there being no immediate effect. I'm gonna take a guess and say this is all Dumas's fault.
Dumas pops his mouth off of the bottle of the singular wine bottle that you've given him and goes, "Oh yeah, that happens sometimes."
What exactly happens?
I'm not
Alcohol
drunk.
stops working?
Yeah.
What do you
Possibly the
mean
worst thing to
stops
happen before we're about to
working?
march to our potential deaths.
That's not a good time. This is-
Dumas kind of turns towards Seraph and just goes, "It doesn't get you drunk? It's kind of like an immunity to poison thing. I don't know."
Well, that sucks for you. Take another swig.
Jess is
Jess-
still sitting with her hand raised.
I mean, Dumas very carefully, without taking his mouth off of his own bottle, which he's immersed in again, and just like pushes the potion gently towards you.
It's all yours, Des.
She just claps her hands and grins and grabs it and chugs it.
Oh boy, roll D100.
I'm gonna kill us all.
Please. Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
What
Uh-oh.
is
what does it do? What does it do? What does
What's
it
that
do?
on your
if it's
end? I
really
forgot.
good or really bad?
You drink the potion and it goes down smoothly enough. It has a very strange taste and it switches between tasting. For a second you're like, this is like a turkey dinner. Oh, that's like licking pennies. Wait, now it's like a donut? But then after a while it settles in your stomach. You kind of burp a little bit. And then almost immediately after the burp, there's a little barely perceptible shockwave that emanates from you specifically and kind of knocks into everybody in the room. Not enough to knock them off of the, benches that they're sitting on or anything. It's just a strange little effect, almost like a little earthquake felt right here in this room.
What was that?
Also, out of character, I've literally rolled this one like 4 times.
Yeah, this one has
Seriously.
come up a lot. Yeah.
For being 2 numbers, I've rolled this one like 4 times.
Yep. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this one again. Got it.
Which one
right.
is this one?
Why? This is not gonna matter. Vulnerability
Unless you
piercing
stab each
damage.
other, so.
Yeah, this is the one that
Oh, the
has
piercing one?
destroyed that.
Yeah.
That giant
Again.
The irony.
Dang it.
Yeah. It's alright. Sometimes it's not obvious when
Aw.
it does, but that's
I
part of the fun.
mean, she takes another sip of alcohol to see if it's the same one that Carter got.
I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell immediately. It still tastes like alcohol, but you are still drunk, so.
Yeah. I think it's not that one, but I don't know what happened.
Dumas seems to consider things for a moment and then goes into his bag and pulls out another potion of wild.
Can I do it again?
And he goes,
No,
"You can
wait.
try
Sarah
again."
hasn't done one.
Yes.
Sarah hasn't
wait.
done one.
Oh no! She stares intently at Sarah.
I'm
Dang
just
it.
like, I haven't done this before.
Hmm.
I'm honestly curious.
Okay.
Would it change your mind to know that it's him sneezing in a bottle?
I'm drunk. Does it really care at this point?
Dumas holds up a thumbs up and goes, "I'll make more."
Just give me the bottle.
You better make more. I want to do something fun next time, Damas.
Demoss, I got a question for you.
Yeah?
Is it every time you sneeze, or do you have to have like special sneezes?
Kind of thinks about it for a moment and goes, "Oh, yeah, most of the time."
If we make you
Most of
sneeze
the
right now,
usually I only sneeze after I, cast a spell. It's a thing.
Oh,
Do
great.
spells.
It's a
Okay.
side effect.
Do spells, she
Two
says.
spells.
Got it. See, I had this, and he takes out the potion of sneezing. And I thought if you just sneezed a lot, that we could all have some. But yeah,
Oh, the water
obviously.
sneezing, the potion of water
Yeah.
sneezing. That's right. Yeah, I guess Dumas will cast dancing lights since you said to cast the spell, but no. Casts dancing lights for a second, lights up the room, thinks about it, and goes, "Nope."
Cast
Usually
better.
itches.
That's better.
his eyes narrow just a little bit. And he's like, and he points at you, and you start to recognize, you've seen him do this once before. He almost begins to go through the motions of fireball for a second, and stops himself.
I can do that too, she points at him.
So
continues-
I'm gonna take this potion now.
Okay, all eyes
do
on
it,
you.
Do it.
Uncork the potion.
16.
All right, you drink the potion again. Really strange taste. You taste like mowed grass for a second, which is not a thing that you've ever tasted, but the smell alone kind of reminds you of it. And then it turns into something a lot spicier.
Ooh, that's
And then
spicy.
And then you pick up, and it feels kind of strange, as if there's a magical effect happening, but nothing else discernible really happens.
What's happening? What happened to me?
Oh,
You hiccup again.
See? Hiccups.
That
Every
sucks.
time Seraph hiccups, there's a little burst of blue magical energy emanating from, I would say, probably his stomach area, just under his solar plexus. and it kind of bathes his whole body for just a moment, and then it
Weird.
recedes again.
Man.
I mean, let's see. I got nothing better to do. I'll cast Detect Magic. What type of magic is it?
It is. Oh, hold on. Shit, that's a good question. I think I looked this up recently as well. What type is it? Because it's not freaking. I think it's not enchantment. Fucking hell. Evocation. It looks like. Actually, I could probably detect magic would probably do more than that. It looks like a healing spell, by the looks of it.
She takes a little like butter knife or whatever.
Is it piercing damage?
Gonna poke Seraph
Jesus.
with it in science. He's just gonna go for science, and he's gonna poke you with it.
What? Oh, what?
It's
Are you
super hurt.
avoiding? Are you avoiding Seraph, or are you trying to let him do this?
Well, he's saying for science, and
Or
I
He
feel
says
like
that for a lot of things.
I feel like I wouldn't really react since I'm drunk.
All right, roll a 1d4.
Yeah.
2 points of piercing damage.
Fuck yeah!
Cray
yeah.
pokes you with a knife, and you start to bleed, and you're like, fucking out. And then immediately
Oh.
you hiccup again, and the cut is just gone.
See,
What?
that's what my and he kind of just like he's also getting pretty drunk. He's just motioning like to his shoulder. That's what my thing said. So it was healing.
How much
Sip it
Can I-
down.
Can I
he
do
only
it?
did? It only did 2. Yeah, I also want to try. I'll use a butter knife. But
Jesus.
can I try?
Why does everybody want to poke me?
Because it's for science.
How
You're just gonna
hard are
see
you
Carter.
poking?
Carter's not poking. He's gonna pick up, wind back, and throw it at him.
Oh, Jesus.
But that means it's an improvised thrown weapon, so sneak attack kicks in.
God.
Oh,
So
no.
we
Okay.
can see how much healing it actually does.
All right, roll to attack. There's a knife coming at you, Sarah.
What you want me to just roll the sun sword dagger since it's a dagger?
Yeah, sure. Let's use a sunsword dagger.
Oh, no.
Cutter, you're not drunk, but Seraph is, and he just sways out of the way in time enough for it to go ding
Drunken
and
fist.
sink into the table.
But let's
Just like,
see how much.
oh.
Hang on, let's see how much damage it does because it's gonna stab into the table.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy, 19. Hot
19
damn.
doubled. If it
That-
hit you.
19
So just
doubled.
impacts and probably splinters the table, but
It
Yeah,
does.
'cause
It
you
does.
currently have
Vulnerability to
piercing.
piercing.
It's probably wearing off like as we're talking about
Soon,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious. How much is that? I can't do math.
Alright, I say we finish the bottles.
38.
Yeah. That would have been 38 damage.
That would have left me with, because I have 49.
how much would you have healed? That's that's what this was all about. Pick up real quick and
Fuck.
see how much you heal.
Or hold still and let him do it again.
I'm not moving.
See, he's
I
not moving.
think.
Would you like to roll? Roll with advantage, please, since Seraph is not moving.
I think I'm not moving.
I'll tell the vulnerability has worn off by now, so yeah.
Dang it.
Okay. That hits.
Yes, that
That's
hits.
better.
16.
Alright, you take 16 piercing damage, and then almost immediately afterward you hiccup, and you heal 5 hit points.
I don't. It still hurts.
You're still bleeding, yeah.
It seems excessive.
Savid is just like, sometimes I wonder.
I mean, we
Well,
told
just
you,
think
Savid.
if we
Savid,
do,
why aren't you
comes up-
drunk?
if this comes up in a fight, now we know it's not quite as useful as it seems like it could be.
Savid is like, I'm an elf. Takes a little bit more.
I thought dwarves are the ones that are more resilient.
That's easy for dwarfs to get drunk.
Is it?
He's old. He's got a big tolerance.
Old man
So he
Savid.
kind of like toasts to it, but he's not sure if it's a compliment or not. So he kind of narrows his eyes and goes, "Yeah, I guess."
Can I
Comparatively.
Yeah.
drunkenly? Can I try to remember where? Oh God, what is his name? The guy, the burgermaster,
Mhm.
where he got
Felix.
that alcohol from that he was drinking before.
The whiskey?
Oh, the
Yeah.
whiskey. Sure. Roll an intelligence check with disadvantage because you're drunk. Who knows? 12? I'd say, yeah, that's good enough. There's not a lot of places in this kitchen to hide things. It's basically they have one place where they keep everything, and it's covered roughly with a piece of cloth. But you find a very old, unlabeled. Everything seems to be distilled locally here, so there's no like brand labels or anything. But it's a jug of what appears to be probably whiskey when you uncork it and sniff inside. Not a lot left. Not a lot left, but yeah, it's whiskey.
Oh man, Savid, if you take one of these, are you good? Because he doesn't have very much left.
He kind of puts up a hand and goes, "Look, I think I'm fine. I'm not particularly interested in getting drunk at the moment. I
But
feel
this
like
is our
somebody needs
last
to."
night.
Look, just give me the. Reaches for like Dumas's bottle, which Dumas has been gently sipping out of, and just snatches it from him and goes, "Look, I'll just finish this off, and I'll probably be more or less good."
Jess, why don't you feed it to him?
How do we feed somebody alcohol? It's not a food.
You drink it yourself and you mouth to mouth.
David
Seems
kicks Seraph under the
messy.
table.
It's very weird.
Ow.
It's very weird.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like the optimal way to drink.
But then
seems
you'd
like
be
they're just
sharing
everywhere.
a drink as friends.
He kind of looks at Seraph and goes, "Is
Friends.
this what your people do? Because that seems really strange. Are you just going around making out with strangers?"
No, I just thought of this. And my
Oh.
people rarely get drunk. My first time getting drunk was when I actually left my home and discovered alcohol. That was a fun night.
You don't have alcohol where you're from.
Well, yes, but it's very light. Like, you can't even get drunk off of it. It's very
Then
boring.
what's the point?
For sure. Like, as the one
It's
not
for
drunk right now,
ceremonies.
gotta say, what is the point if you're not getting drunk?
It's apparently for
Ceremonies?
ceremonies and rituals. It's pretty boring.
Your people are weird.
I know. That's why
Is
I'm
that why you
glad I'm not
left?
there. Yes. And the fact that I also have this mission, so.
Right, but which one's more important to you? The getting drunk and getting out of there or the mission?
Freedom.
Right. So you were in a cult.
Sounds like it.
Isn't every religion a cult though?
Nuh-uh. Raven Queen
We've,
is great.
we've all been there.
Hey. Raven Lady, is awesome. And she makes no cult things.
But that's what my people say about our deity.
Well, they're wrong.
What is your deity?
I actually don't know.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
See? You didn't even know one. They were just pretending.
No, out of character, I really don't know.
Today's episode is Seraph realizes he's in a cult.
Hey,
Many lawful good deities, so.
Boring.
Hey, maybe don't mention me around them. I've stolen a lot of shit. Like, a lot.
From his people?
From everyone's people. I've probably stolen some stuff from your people, to be real, Des. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't really have people, so that's okay. I think
Savid's
they
like,
are
you're welcome
okay
to
with
steal
it.
from my people.
I'm gonna go with Amaterasu because I like the Japanese culture. So.
See, the problem, Savid, is from what I've noticed here, it's not a whole lot really worth stealing.
Right, you just have to get imaginative.
what? What?
Like
Now,
stealing
if
babies.
But there's really not much here.
if you have any leads at all, Savid, we can pull a heist. I can show you the ropes. I'm sure Des and Cray and Seraph will be down. If you know of something worth stealing, just point us in that direction.
Are you suggesting this instead of going to Castle Ravenloft? Because I will do my best to think of something if it gets you out of that idea.
I don't think we can get out of that idea, but keep that in your mind. Keep the wheels turning. Figure
We'll come
something out.
back.
We will take something.
Come back and steal the babies from your people.
Sabine kind of winces and glances down and goes, yeah, we don't really have any. That's kind of the point.
You don't have babies.
No,
Do
I
you
thought.
have children, Savid?
Sabine kind of looks down. I guess. Huh. Sarah, roll an insight check.
Am I rolling at
Disadvantage.
disadvantage?
Are you drunk? Yeah, I guess it would be.
Are you drunk?
Insight. Yay! Did I better?
Sabine just looks quite uncomfortable. Kind of turns the bottle that he's drinking from a couple of times in his hands and just goes, I believe we've kind of already covered this, but my people were cursed a while ago, 400 years ago, to be precise, by Strahd. He, you know, killed all the women in our community.
That's the pits, dude.
Why do you need women to make babies?
Carter just looks at this like, come on.
Sabine is also like, wait, really?
Des, do you know where babies come from?
The Raven Queen sends birds and they bring babies.
Oh, you sweet child.
Oh.
Oh boy. This is all right.
Is that
In order to lighten the mood, Carter looks at Savine like, I'm sorry that you don't have babies, but I'm also kind of glad because I don't want the optics of the 5 or 6 of us stealing a bunch of babies out there. So,
Yeah,
but
no, maybe that's for the best,
we
but
will fix this. I'm sure. Obviously, we're here to kill him, right? I mean, eventually we're good. Maybe not in at the dinner party. I don't think we got a shot at that, but you know, eventually he's not going to be here, and I'm sure somebody can get some women back for you.
thanks.
Maybe the Raven Queen. Des, can you put in a good word with the Raven Queen?
yes? I would tell her
Look at that.
to
It all
send
works out.
a lot of ravens with little babies, and some of them might get dropped off at the church.
Will the ravens be able to carry the babies?
Babies are small.
Savita's doing that thing where you put your hands together as if in prayer and is just pressing it to his lips and staring at Des very, very quietly. And then he leans over towards Cray very subtly and goes, I don't know how humans, I suppose she's not a human, do non-elves mature in a different way? How old? I thought that she was an adult, but now suddenly uncertain. Why doesn't she know about this?
Cray snores loudly as he fell asleep at the beginning of the conversation, which is why he hasn't participated. He's sleeping in a chair with Kachi on his lap. And he
Oh
just
no. Savid elbows him a couple of times and goes, "Hey, you, human man. Fine. Oh, never mind."
Not human man.
Kachi gets up and kind of like hisses at him and jumps away off his lap because he woke him up.
Ugh.
Oh, great. Bye, kitty. What's going on?
You, human, half human man.
Yeah.
How old is this?
Kind of like looks over. Can he
Am
ballpark
I a
it?
predator?
Like, is there something he can roll to ballpark this?
That's a great question. I assume. How much do you know about how many encounters have you had in tieflings previously? You've been around, so I imagine.
Yeah, he's like he comes from a pretty big city. He's been around a lot of different races and cultures and peoples.
Roll a wisdom check, I suppose. This wouldn't necessarily be intelligence. You roll a wisdom check, and based on how well you do, Des can give you an approximate.
Oh boy.
Des,
Kind of looks like
5,000 years old.
Des, how old are you? Worst answer.
More than 2.
he goes. I don't know. She looks like an adult to me.
Do either Carter or
Yeah.
I hear this little conversation?
I imagine Savita's getting quite drunk, so he's probably not as quiet as he attempts to be. Yeah.
Hey, Des.
What?
I know it's rude, but I'm curious. How old is how old are you?
She puts her chin on the table and stretches both hands out onto the table. This many plus 2 more and 1 more.
Wait,
You immediately see Savid begin to do the same thing on his own hands and like try to count up.
what's the number then? Because I feel like I have more than 5 fingers.
Wait, hold on. You have more than 5 fingers?
I got
That's
What?
weird.
at the 1 more and then 2 more.
Wait, 2 more isn't 10 plus 20?
I feel like there's 2 answers here. Either 14, which I feel like is a bit low, or
I feel like
17.
everyone has like steam coming out of their ears.
No. So you got these 2, and she waves her fingers with all 10 fingers up, and then 2 more, and waves them both, and then 1 more, and then 1 off of the other one,
Oh.
and holds up only one hand on the other.
I feel like this is a communal attempt at math that is like you're all crowded around each other and like looking at Des really disjointedly and trying to count up on your fingers.
Cray's got the meme with all the calculations going on.
Yeah.
Carter puts her hand on Cray's shoulder and is just like, I'm not even drunk and I don't know what she's trying to say.
I think she's saying 26.
That one.
26.
I think. That
When
is
all,
how math.
when all of you are not drunk, you're going to have a serious conversation, man, because if you're 26 and think some ravens are bringing babies, we really have to like fill you in on some stuff.
I mean, that's what Father said.
Hey, can we circle back around to that part, where all religions are cults?
I still don't think that sounds right. But
Look, wait, you're telling me that you mentioned this before, but you were raised in like a monastery or something, right?
a church.
Right. Not particularly religious, don't know what the difference is, but so you're saying that you were told by an authority figure the children come from ravens.
Father Edward said that whatever deity I pick, that they bring children upon the land. And she has ravens, and so the ravens bring the baby.
I still don't think that's how that works, but who am I to judge?
David once again leans over to Cray, not even checking to see if he's awake or not, and just goes, for a 26-year-old elf, I suppose, based on age, that would be an accurate presumption to make, but I feel like tieflings work differently.
Yeah, pretty sure tieflings are closer to humans, which makes it a bit.
Out of nowhere, you just hear a loud thud as Seraph's head just hits the
Oh,
table and passes out.
That's
Right.
the idea. Cray's been sitting there like holding his eyes open since he got woken up. He's got like the bloodshot bleariness. He's just like, what's going on?
Yes. Sabi's also probably not sober enough for this. He just puts his head in his hands and is just like, holy fuck. I'm not sure what to do.
And Des reaches over and just like pats Seraph's head that's face down on the table.
Carter, you alone are sober here.
And just sort of like snuggles into Savid and uses him like a bed. Just sleeps against him.
Yeah.
Savid does not move. He's still frozen.
Carter went and grabbed a bowl, filled it with some water, and he's going to put Seraph's hand in the bowl of water.
Does that actually work? I really want to know. Does that actually? It does.
It does.
Holy
From
shit.
experience, it doesn't. It's not always, but it can definitely
Did someone
work.
do that to you, Cade?
No.
Okay.
But I may have done it to other people.
Please tell me you were in high school.
No, it was when I was in like elementary school, man.
Oh.
It was like neighborhood gang days. This is old school.
Okay, you're
Old school
aging
pranks.
yourself more.
Oh, that's a time.
We're talking like 30 years ago, guys.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all with you. Oh, jeez. All right.
Years ago.
Yeah, the only one that's probably not as drunk is Dumas because Savid removed his alcohol, and he's kind of like watching all of this mildly amused.
Good.
Dumas, do a thing.
What?
What
should I do?
Do it.
What?
Do it.
Okay. He kind of screws up his eyes a little bit, trying to think of something to do. Eventually just ends up casting like Misty Step and plops a little ways over onto the bench next to you.
Hell yeah. Are you gonna sneeze?
Are you gonna sneeze?
Nope. Nope, not coming.
She reaches over and just like starts like running one of her fingers over his scales.
He kind of looks at you strangely and goes, "So, you don't know what sex is?"
Right now, Carter absolutely busted out laughing when he said that.
No. What is it?
Dumas looks across at like half of the party, which is passed out on top of each other, at Carter laughing a few feet away, and goes, "You know, I feel like I should probably let the others handle that."
Carter's gonna interrupt immediately. No. He's gonna put his elbows on the table, put his hands, like his chin in his hands. Go ahead.
Is it a bird?
Well, okay, so you know how when
the birds and the bees.
A kobold and another kobold love each other very, very much.
You know, I don't really know very much about kobolds. You're kind of the first one I've seen.
You know how when... Wait, what are you again?
Tiefling.
Right. You know how when a tiefling and another tiefling love each other very well? No, that's not really a requirement.
I've never met
Hold
another
on.
tiefling.
Oh. Wait. What about your parents? Tieflings have parents, right? Or do you hatch from eggs? Do you
I
hatch
don't
from
know.
eggs like kobolds?
I got brought by a raven to a church.
Huh.
This is a whole can of worms.
I know.
Prepared to open. This is
No,
wonderful.
Dumas is also like, he's tapping his chin and he's like, I guess maybe that's how it works.
For tieflings.
I don't. Yeah, Dumas is literally like, that sounds incorrect, but I don't know enough about tieflings to dispute it. Okay, so let's back up. So, for humans, if a human and another human...
A human
Or,
man.
wait. Okay, no, wait. It doesn't have to be a human. If a human and literally anything else... Wait, now hold on. Okay, let me just go back.
Animals?
Well, yeah, yes. Usually not animals and humans. Although, hold on. No, we have to back up. So,
I mean, I really like cats.
Right. Okay, let's do cats. If a cat and another cat like each other very, very much, He kind of pauses again and goes, and just kind of like sets his elbows on the table and buries his face into it and goes, I don't know enough about cats to have this conversation.
This is going great.
This is making up for Carter not being able to get drunk.
Dumas is having like a miniature existential crisis trying to figure out how to explain this.
She's just staring at him and thinking about cats now.
He's just staring at the table now, just going like...
Out of character. You don't know how shook I was when Dumas said that. I was not ready for it.
I was not prepared. I was like, whoa, okay. Hell yeah. It was so perfect.
Right? It's just like, all right, where are we going with this? And will she understand, especially drunk? Probably not.
Nope.
Gotten real far with the maybe someone likes each other.
Sarah could probably explain this, but I'm passed out, so.
You're sleeping.
Not a requirement.
Seraph would go with like a completely different theory, like, oh no, there's a stork.
No,
the Dawn Father.
I'm pretty sure I would not filter it whatsoever. I would show drawings.
God.
She'd get real confused.
Oh. Yeah, no, Dumas will probably give up eventually.
She's just like sitting there with like her chin still on the table, hands out in front of her, just like, cats are cool. I want a cat.
You look over and Hitchi is just cleaning himself on the floor while Cray sleeps unconscious.
She like does the grabby motions towards Kitchi and just like
he chirps and runs over to you like cat.
I would say, I guess most of you are already. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we are, guys.
Oh gosh.
It's gonna get real.
Well, I suppose most of you are already more or less passed out, but if anybody else wants to do anything on this wild, wild night.
No, I think we have our memories.
Excellent.
Aside from just assuring that I'm sure at some point Felix came back because we gave him money and then he ran out into the night.
That's right, he left.
Yeah, to go and secure us this tavern, and then we crashed his main floor, and as we have been, just slept in his living room because there's nowhere else for us to sleep right now.
He probably came in midway through the when a cat and another cat love each other very, very much, and just like opened the door, just like stepped in, and very quickly walked past. Um,
All right, well, to the next morning.
the next morning.
Dawn.
Can everybody roll me a really quick, except for Carter, can everybody roll me a really quick constitution check? Just to make sure you don't roll a 1.
Check or
Save or
saving
just
throw?
a check?
Constitution save. Let's do save.
I'm much better at those.
Me too.
Okay.
Look
Hell
at
yeah.
that.
All right. Heck yeah.
We all
Now,
took that
now
one pretty well.
did or did not Seraph piss?
That is also a good question.
Is that a
What do I
Constitution
roll
save?
for that?
I guess
Wisdom save?
wisdom save? Yeah, let's do a wisdom save.
I'm not good at that.
Shake it up a bit.
Oh, wisdom save, go. Yeah, you're
No.
fine.
Okay.
Damn.
The DC
Why is my
was not
hand wet?
high. Yeah, essentially
Right.
just that.
I just wake up with my hand in a bowl, and I'm just like, the
Yep.
fuck?
The only one who rolled poorly enough to have a headache is Savid, who wakes up
Oh, no.
with a headache.
Unrelated
Probably
to the alcohol.
unrelated to the alcohol. He is just that concerned.
Before we head out to go to the front gate, Cray is gonna walk up to Savid and reach into his bag, and he's gonna bring out another 50 gold pieces in a little pouch, and he's gonna hand it to him. Be like, just in case either of you guys need anything while you're here, try not to be too big of a burden.
Oh, thank you. And try not to die, human man. Kind of pats you on the shoulder awkwardly. And
He go ahead.
take care of Des. The rest of them will probably be fine. And yourself. Actually, no, take care of yourself. You're kind of dumb sometimes. The human side of you.
He
No,
he
that's
he kind of just laughs a little and looks up and goes, "You really should have stopped right when you started."
Well, how was I to have no? Look,
It's
we'll
fine.
have this conversation later.
Yeah, no. He kind of just gives him a little pat on the cheeks. It's like, "We're good. You guys take care of yourselves here, and we'll be back."
Right.
But he just wanted to give him some money, so that they had
Yep.
money, because I have not been giving him any money since he's been adventuring with us.
That's fine. To be fair, you guys have basically been like, he has rations, but you guys
Yeah,
have basically
and
been taking care of stuff.
we infused the town of Kresk with the literal dragon's horde of Valaki. So
Yep.
we took their the town's money, and we just went, here, have it over here now. We like it here better. It's not overrun by vampires and on fire.
Yeah.
Politics, influencing politics through money.
Hooray! Destroying economies.
Yep.
It's you say destroy, he says build up anew, except with him at the center of it as a tavern keep. 'Cause if we don't get out of here, we're at least going to be very comfortable and drunk. What?
Gerrymandering? I don't know. All right. Anything else anybody would like to do?
Dusk goes over and gives Savid a hug, just like, we'll be back, and we'll come get you guys, and hopefully the tavern is pretty cool in the meantime. But, yeah, we just gotta go over there, and then we'll come back.
Right. Try not to die, and he just kind of gives you an awkward hug. Holds on a little bit too long, as if he's worried. A little bit too much, but then eventually lets go and awkwardly, shuffles off to the side.
It's okay, I'm good at that.
I was gonna tease him, but I'm just like, he may or may not see us again.
You guys are so okay with your impending sense of mortality.
Hey, we have accepted this. We've had a long time for the characters themselves to kind of come to terms with it. This invitation hit us a week and a half ago.
I know.
Just been sitting on it.
Yep.
This was an entire character ago for Aurora. We've had time to prepare mentally. We're ready.
Yeah, I'm more impressed with Seraph just being like, yep, I'm going towards my death.
Hooray!
These yahoos seem just crazy enough to maybe
I
not
should
get me
change my
killed.
alignment to chaotic.
All right. Well, the morning starts off relatively early. The burgomaster and his wife kind of see most of you out. Savid and Dumas do follow you out of the gates of Crest, which they actually open the doors for you as you step out. And the morning is fairly brisk. There is still snow on the ground all around you, but there's been no new snowfall, so it's a nice, brisk, cold morning. A little bit of low fog hanging. And as you step out of the gates, you do spot a familiar and relatively eerie sight just south of the gates. Parked along the main Svalich road that runs right past it, there is a lonely black carriage standing with two onyx horses at the front.
Ride's here.
Gray scritches both his pets and just starts heading towards it.
Okay. As you approach, about, I'd say 20 feet before you get close, the door of the carriage swings open without so much as a creak. And inside, you see the empty interior waiting for you with some familiar pillows on the seats, one of
Missing
which you
one.
stole. Yes.
Did it regenerate or is it still gone?
It did regenerate.
Jess will take it
Nice.
and pull it out of the carriage and throw it on the ground. Ha.
Okay. It stays there on the ground.
Cool.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
Partially
keep
touching
it.
snow.
It looks like a nice pillow.
No. I just want Strahd to have one less nice thing. So now
That'll
it's on the
teach
ground.
him.
Yep.
I think we should all keep that as our primary motivation today. Take all his nice things.
Yeah.
Or at least he'd have less of one.
Yep.
All right. Are you getting inside?
We getting inside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again. Begrudgingly.
Okay. The inside of the carriage is unusually warm. You are basically stepping out of a refrigerator and into what seems to be like a central heated room. It's tight, but not uncomfortably so. There's windows on both sides. Again, the pillows are comfortable. Everything is comfortable. As soon as the four of you get in and shut the door behind you, the carriage just begins to move very gently at first, and then the horses begin to pick up pace. Um, there is a window in the back as well. Actually, roll me who has the highest passive perception now that Flora has been.
Des, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
15.
Okay. Let me see. Did I 15? Okay. Kind of glance behind you at the walls of Kresk that are very quickly growing smaller, and you see the two figures of Savid and Dumas out on the side of the road. They had approached where the carriage had been waiting for you and are looking, and for a brief moment you see Dumas appear to disappear from where he is, and then Savid just kind of turns and begins to walk back towards the gates.
He didn't like dimension door. He's not on the wagon with us, is he?
Do you, Des, do you say anything?
Yeah, she's just like sitting knees on the back bench, looking out the window, just wait, is Civi going in there alone? Where'd Dumas go?
Did he disappear?
He did. They're supposed to stick together and be friends. Civi's gonna be so lonely.
He's gonna cry himself to sleep at night.
she'll use a third level to cast sending.
Okay. Who are you sending it to?
To Savid first. Just Savid! Where did Dumas go? You can't go alone, you're gonna be lonely.
Eventually Savid's voice comes back to you and he goes, "Oh, I believe he said he was just going back into the town. Why? I think his legs are a little bit too small to carry him, so he..." And then the message cuts off there.
God damn it.
Yep.
I will. I'll use one more to sending to Dumas.
Okay.
And just on the sending, you better still be with Savid. He's gonna get lonely. Don't you disappear on him. Or us.
Sending message goes through. There is no distinct reply, but you hear a small, little from the back. Not
what?
from the back of the carriage, but just from the back of your head as a reply to the sending spell. As opposed to words. There's just
What was
little.
Eh. Damn it.
Ah,
Are there issues?
I'm gonna send Kitchi around onto the roof of the wagon to see if Tomas is up there.
So you swing open the door a little ways, and you can see now the horses are picking up their pace. Carriages beginning to go faster and faster the further you move away from Kresk. Roll a perception check, I suppose.
Oh,
Gee.
right. From myself or from the cat?
The cat, I believe, has its own perception check, right?
It does.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Nice. So,
She gets up there, looks around, and begins to realize that, first of all, not only does the cat not see anything, is it she or he or it?
The
She?
cat's a he.
Okay, he. He doesn't really see anything, but also sees that it is beginning to get ridiculously foggy.
Mm.
In fact, the further you move away from Crest, despite the fact that you're still more or less on Svalich Road, the fog is beginning to kind of coalesce all around you, and the horses are just seemingly running blindly into it. Um, you're still on the road, but there's less and less road to see out ahead of you, and the visibility is quickly dropping. So at some point, she just glances around at the roof of the carriage, doesn't see anything, looks like a roof of the carriage, and eventually slinks back inside.
He just shouts out, Tomas, if you're up there, you're gonna have a lot more things than Strahd to deal with when you get there. Don't leave Savit alone with this. And he waits. And he listens.
As far as you can tell, you're just yelling into the fog.
It's not the first time.
and it won't be the last.
Nope. Right, he sits down and just sighs heavily. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Always do. And he puts his feet up.
Okay. The trip in the carriage takes a significant amount of time, but lesser time than you would have expected from such a journey. An hour turns into 2 hours, into 3 hours. You know that when you traveled originally from Borovia Village, which is where the castle is near, it would have taken you several days to make the trip, but it seems that the horses are intent on making this into a one-day journey. And anytime you look out of the carriage windows henceforth, you don't really see anything. Every once in a while, there's a flash of a tree branch that goes by and kind of slides against the glass. But it very quickly disappears back into the milky whiteness of the mist that surrounds you on all sides. Um, there's not really a lot to look at. If you guys want, you have time to have conversations or do other things, but if not, I can fast forward to your arrival.
I think we would have just bullshitted a bit, but
Yeah.
I know Cray's a bit tense, so they'd be like short intermittent bursts of sarcasm and snark.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Jess has mostly been quiet.
I'll
Right.
probably just ask. So what did everybody talk about after I passed out?
When did you pass out?
I don't know.
That was
It's
off
kind of
for me. You were awake when
fuzzy.
David woke me up at some point. I remember that. I don't remember. He asked me something, but
Hmm.
hell if I know.
Starting to just snicker into himself.
We talked about birds and cats And something about the two of them together. It was weird.
The birds and the cat.
Cats together.
Something about cats liking each other, and then they adopted a bird?
Marks.
We were all very drunk. Let's just go ahead and leave last night.
Fair enough.
Tomas didn't explain very well.
Oh no, we're absolutely gonna circle back around to that. You gotta remember, I was not drunk, but I don't feel like a carriage ride to the devil is the right time to talk about this. But we're gonna put a pin in it. We're definitely coming back to that.
All right. Expect you to lead us back to it.
Well, yeah, if whenever you want to start it, I'm curious.
Yeah. There's gonna be more questions than answers, I'm pretty sure, but I mean we can absolutely fill the gaps in, but just at a less pressing time.
That's fair.
Right. All right.
Perhaps at a
Okay.
time when we have AIDS.
Cat aids
Like visual aids.
of cats.
Sure. The
I
cats
still
and
have
the
no
birds.
idea what we're talking about.
Me neither.
It's kind of like coming back to Cray as he thinks it through. His brain's starting to like grind the gears through the sludge, but he still is kind of like, what did I say? Like in particular, what did I say? Shit.
All right. Well, while you are pondering this very strange last night conversation, gradually night seems to fall around you after about I'd say the 6th hour of your journey there. It begins to darken, or at least you think night is falling because it does begin to get darker outside. You still can't really see very well. If you glance out of the window, it's still extremely foggy, but bit by bit, you begin to recognize the silhouettes of trees that are passing by the carriage, and eventually you also hear the small pitter-patter of raindrops that begins to hit the roof. And then as the wind pushes it further towards the windows, it also gives a nice little atmosphere from the side there. It begins to rain pretty heavily, but it's another hour before the carriage begins to slow down from what appeared to have been a relatively breakneck pace that the horses have kept up without once stopping. And there's no carriage driver either, for that matter. The horses are just going like they have a mission. They're on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely not weird.
You've never seen a carriage driver before? No reason to expect one now.
Nope. It'd be more weird if there was one, honestly.
And if
Then
there
you'd have to make
was one,
compensation.
what would he
Right.
look like?
Probably a vampire.
Hmm. But yeah, eventually the carriage begins to slow down to a relatively normal pace, and as you look outside, you see that the mist is now staying a little bit further away, and you see that you are in a darker forest. The rain continues to muddy the ground down below, and you can hear the horse hooves squelching through the mud. But this is an unfamiliar part of the forest. It is climbing uphill gradually, but after a while, you begin to get the sense that you are slowing down, and the horses kind of pull the carriage around, and finally it comes to a relatively gentle stop. Outside, you hear some rolls of thunder, somewhat distant for the time being, but it seems that you have arrived at your destination, more or less. The door itself kind of automatically swings open, and you presumably get out. I don't know, it's up to you.
Who's getting out first?
Deonadar runs out as soon as the door opens. like a dog released from a pen that she's been in for hours, she bolts immediately.
Oh, that's right. You. Good thing it's not a real dog. Can you imagine?
In his mind, it is. So she acts like she
True.
is, and she goes and she finds a spot to squat. He then picks up Deonadar, or not Deonadar, Ketchy, puts Ketchy on Dessa's shoulder, and then he's going to adjust both his swords and step out into the rain.
It's so rainy.
I legitimately thought it was raining outside.
Hell yeah.
To be honest, I wouldn't be
Here's
surprised.
the problem. I love the atmospheric music. It's dope. I have to pee. I'll be right back.
Damn it, Chekhov, you made him pee.
You are Deonadar.
Right. What does Deonadar pee?
For like 40 minutes.
Oil change.
She just pees oil.
Yeah.
That would make sense. And it would work as like a functional thing too, just changing the oil out.
It reminded me of in the first Transformers movie when Bumblebee just like removes his oil filter.
Oh man, I remember that. Yeah, good times, good times.
I can't say that I've ever seen that movie, but I can say that for a lot of movies.
Me too. This is why we're friends.
Yeah. So that I can say I haven't seen that to every movie that Cade asks about and he can be disappointed in me.
Hey, high five!
Right.
Virtual high five.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I'm in the
I will
last gym. I'm going to lose.
Do it.
Uh,
Oh wait, I think I fucked it up. Yeah, I fucked it up.
Lose better?
I'm back.
all right.
How dare you pee?
Why does it go so bad? Oh my god.
All right. As Cray returns from his foray into the woods.
he went out to pee with Deonadar.
Yeah, essentially.
Shit, been sitting in this wagon for fucking. God, I'll be right back.
It's
We
true.
didn't even drink anything.
Try to find something fancy looking.
So the
Like if
ground.
we're in a courtyard. Like I try to
You're
find
you're not in a courtyard quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
You are actually right in front of what appears to be a bridge. There's rain, and in the distance, yeah, where you think Barovia Village may be, downhill, there's some distant lightning dancing around through the whirling dark clouds. And before you is the castle, which is quite an angry streak of dark shapes against the foreground. There's lights from multiple windows you can see through the gloom, but the general shape of it kind of evades you. It's very tall, very foreboding. Up ahead, there are two stone structures, towers that flank the beginning of what appears to be a drawbridge, and it stretches across a crevice that separates the main crest of this hill, where you are on right now, from the outcropping that holds the castle itself high above the plains of Barovia. Quite a bit of a drop. The drawbridge is currently down. I know it looks like a real bridge, but this is the only picture I could find. Imagine it's the drawbridge. Just theater of mind.
Theater of
Also-
mind and a drawbridge.
Also, as we leave the carriage, Des will throw all the rest of the pillows out into the rain as well.
Okay, Des systematically defaces private property.
Yep.
Are you just being petty right now?
I don't know what that means, but probably.
Okay then.
He's mean, and so he doesn't. These are too nice, and now they're wet. Take that, Strahd.
There we go. The pillows slowly begin to soak in the rain, and they're already plenty muddied up. The door to the carriage does close behind you, but the horses just remain unmoving.
Should I feel concerned for the
Right.
horses?
They're fine.
I don't think they're actually alive. Can I use Eyes of the Grave
Sure.
to see if that is true?
Yeah, I would say magically detect undead. Yeah, I would say the horses are probably undead.
Yep.
To a certain degree. They're constructs, but undead constructs.
They're pretty not alive.
Well, that just makes me feel better.
About the undead horses?
I won't have to show concern.
Let's
About
just
the undead horses.
About the undead horses.
Okay. I mean, it in itself is fairly concerning considering they're undead, but...
Oh well. Let's just go inside and
Okay.
embrace our deaths.
Hooray!
hooray, so
No. Okay. We'll be fine.
make our way across the bridge.
All right. It doesn't look to be in the best condition necessarily. It looks like once upon a time this was an extremely well-built structure, but years and perhaps even centuries of decay have taken to it a little bit. Some of the places where you step tend to creak rather precariously, and if anybody bothers to glance down to the side, it is a long drop. Like, you can't quite see the bottom long drop.
Strahd, if you kill us on the way into your house, I'm gonna have more than words.
Ghost words, as it were.
Yes.
All right.
We just all become suits of armors in his castle and torment him.
Yeah, exactly.
One way to do it.
But yeah, you make your way across the bridge unscathed, thankfully, although there's a couple of places where you kind of place your foot on a board and it gives way to such an extent that you think better of it and kind of walk around, but for the most part, nothing moves. The wind does sweep through. It's quite strong above the crevice. Clearly a little bit of a funnel going on, but you head towards what appears to be an open... Oh, Jesus, I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly. Portcullis.
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 You just
Portcullis.
ignore the U. Portcullis.
Portcullis.
Don't pronounce
it's
it like you do in Japan.
Look, I got like 3 languages up in here, alright?
Yeah, and I think that one's French, which
Yeah,
just
that
makes
one's
it
French.
weird. It's just weird.
Right?
It's a weird word.
There are
I should never
questions.
trust the French.
Never trust them.
Well,
They
the
have
French don't like
portcullis.
Americans anyway, so.
The French don't like anybody. But yeah, the
Fair.
They don't even
portcullis...
like each other.
The portcullis is open and inviting you into the courtyard, and as you step inside, there is thick, cold fog swirling around in here. It's quite spacious. There's sporadic flashes of lightning that are lancing the sky above you, making everything light up every once in a while and giving you a glimpse of what you're looking around. Through the drizzle, you can see torch flames on either side of the keep's main doors, which do appear to be open. There's warm light spilling out of the entrance and flooding a little bit into this courtyard. Very clearly a marker for where you're supposed to go. High above this entrance is a round window with shards of broken glass lodged in its iron frame.
Neat.
Neat. Alright.
Figured that carriage was gonna bring us like to the front door. We still have to walk.
How far away are we, like, from the main building? Like,
From the
how
main
long of a
building?
walk?
Let
Are
me
we
check my
being
map.
guided by something?
I think we just sort of, like, followed the opening doors to this
Right.
point.
Yeah,
the
at this point,
portcullis.
you essentially just went over the drawbridge, the open portcullis was there, and now you're in the courtyard. And there's nothing really here in the courtyard, but there is that open door. I would say you're about, let me check my map. This is a huge courtyard, so you're 5 foot squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd say you're like 70 feet away. Maybe more, actually. It is under a little bit of an overhang, so if you get closer, you would be beneath basically a curved out section under a roof, without going into the building itself.
As I get close to the building, I'm gonna throw out my detect magic. And
Okay.
just have that running for the first 10 minutes that we're in there.
For the first 10 minutes? Okay.
And kind of just give a quick glance through the courtyard within 30 feet of me. Without, like, I'm not, like, zigzagging around to find every nook and cranny.
Show me
I'm
your
just getting,
magic.
like,
Just run
Like,
around in circles.
yeah, I just want to see if like there are sigils engraved on the ground or walls, if there seem to be any arcane locks or places that might, hide things, if there's any illusions that are masking things. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Right, and that is 30 feet, right?
Yep, 30 feet of me.
I would say as you are standing where you're standing, you're still close enough to the other side of the gate towers. From the where the portcullis is, there's another set of towers that it's built into, and I would say you sense very distant, just on the edge of your vision, you sense a little bit of magic coming from either tower. A very simple type of magic. You presume that, as Strahd is a fancy bitch, he probably uses magic to operate the drawbridge itself. But aside from that, at the moment, it doesn't seem like there's anything necessarily catching you from this end.
Alright. Just wanted to make sure that was up.
And actually, I want to get you guys on this map, but I don't know. It's also huge, and no, I don't think there's nothing really here, unless you want to explore more.
Mhm.
These
mean,
maps
it
take
depends
so
on how much
long
we're allowed to
load.
explore, because
I mean, he's not stopping us yet.
yeah,
Not yet.
is it just the one door that's open in front of us leading into the main building?
Yeah, honestly, at the moment, it's just that one set of relatively giant doors that seem to lead into the main entry. And there is lit torches in the iron sconces on either side of it, so kind of a sign.
I mean, I know that's where he wants us to go. I'm wondering if there's places he don't want us to go that we can go without. No. Bad line of thought. Just discard that one. Let's just head in. And he just
out of the rain.
Yeah, that's a good call. I agree. We'll
Doesn't he like control the weather here? Why is he making it rain? Is it just to be mean?
I'm pretty sure it's on purpose. Yeah, pretty sure.
Or
he's
to
doing
add
it.
dramatic effect.
But he seems like a drama king.
Jerk.
I think Seraph's got the right idea.
Jerk.
Is it
Step
really
through the threshold.
A good idea to call the person who's inviting us into his home a jerk?
I mean, he's being a jerk.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
You gotta remember, Svi. Well, you might not, because you were pretty drunk. He did straight up tell us he killed all their women. So, like, jerk's pretty apt.
All right,
that does seem pretty mean.
Oh yeah. And if I remember right, enslaved the rest of them to the Vistani.
Yeah, they kind of have to do.
We need to do, because killing the children, slaughtering the women, that's horrific. But then he took the remains of that and enslaved it. It's just kind of just like stoically collects himself as like nope. But not here to get into that fight yet.
Right. Are you standing outside of the doorway at this point? I would say you're probably underneath the rooftop portion, so you're at least shielded from the rain somewhat, but...
I thought we were just heading straight in. Just
straight
talking
in?
while you were heading into the...
Okay.
Much.
Alright, since the doors of the castle are hanging open, you stroll inside, and immediately 20 feet inside of the castle is a second set of doors, which also, very abruptly, as you approach the first area, swing open, revealing a grand hall ahead of you, and the sound of organ music, relatively loud, begins to trickle through. In this specific kind of foyer area, in the vaulted kind of outcroppings, you see statues that look relatively dragon-esque, carved into the walls, glaring down, and their eyes seem to flicker slightly in the torchlight.
Do they look like the silver dragons?
They roll an intelligence check. Or perception, I suppose.
Oh, okay, they're both 4. That's 12.
They look like dragons. I mean, they look like they're carved out of some sort of stone. But aside from that, you can't see any familiarity one way or another. Yeah.
Right.
You head back further inside?
Yep.
All right.
Continuing on. Just following whatever breadcrumbs he seems to be leaving for us. He seems to be leading us to his grand reveal.
Sure.
We shall dance to his fiddle.
As you abandon the last area, the doors do slowly close behind you, not with a great slam, just a very lazy click. Yeah, exactly. And you head into the great entry, which doesn't look extremely well taken care of. There are cobwebs stretching between the columns that support the vaulted ceiling of what appears to have been at one point a relatively great hall, now dusty, and is also lit by some torches and iron sconces on the wall. The torches do seem to cast odd shadows across the faces of what appears to be more stone carvings, 8 stone gargoyles squatting motionlessly on the rim of this domed ceiling. There's also cracked and faded ceiling frescoes covered by what appears to be several centuries of decay. There's also double doors of bronze standing immediately in front of you in this room, but also to the left there's a wide staircase that climbs into darkness, and there's also a lit hallway to the right that contains another set of bronze doors, through which you seem to be hearing the organ music necessarily. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, everybody, I suppose.
I'm more rolling nice and average today.
Yay, so am I.
Wow.
There it is.
I feel like it's accurate that Des would be the only one to
Mhm.
notice.
She's just like nervously looking around everywhere.
Yeah, you're nervously looking around. The area is well lit, but as you glance past the light of the torches and up towards the wide staircase to your left, you sense, you're the only one who notices this, that there's a figure in the darkness that is beginning to descend the staircase. And it's extremely quiet, but it appears to not be making any effort of hiding, just very silently descending, and as the figure comes into view, the rest of you are finally accosted with a voice, an unfamiliar voice, of a man who says, "The master is expecting you." Turn around, and you see immediately at the end of that wide staircase, it appears to be a dusk elf. Similar to what Savid and other dusk elves that you've seen prior looked like. So you recognize that part, but he is extremely well dressed. Gray cloak over some black studded leather armor, and has a polished scimitar hanging from the belt. Hair is pulled back. Kind of gestures to the eyes of the gray.
She's just staring at him, and just her eyes flash a little bit.
This is also still
Eyes of
running.
grave.
It's also still up. It's also still up.
It's also still up.
It's
Yeah.
probably been close to like 5 to 8 minutes, but it should still be up.
Your eyes of the grave. Let's see, let me just double check something. I don't believe they catch anything necessarily here. Nope, you don't get any sense of undead from him.
She looks wary, but a little less abrasive, I guess, towards him.
Alright. As per the magic, yeah, your magic would still be up for its 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me double check. Nope, not necessarily anything. Yeah, not necessarily anything magical about this room. And even as the figure approaches, you don't necessarily sense any magical auras coming from him.
Weird. But okay, I guess.
He himself doesn't seem to react to you very much beyond the fact that he gestures once more with his hand and kind of motions once again for you to be, apparently being invited towards the right where you hear the music, the organ music coming from.
Right then. Guess we go that way. And he'll just kind of like watch him out of the corner of his eye as heads down the hall.
Okay. You head down the hall. You get the sense this castle is very maze-like because there is another. Even as you head towards those doors where the organ music is coming from, you see yet another hallway once again, curving out towards the left, and you see what appears to be a glimpse, just for a moment, of a staircase heading downwards and upwards, a spiral staircase. But what catches your attention probably before that is the fact that these doors that he's leading you towards open, and an inviting warm light spills out from the inside. As you step in, the organ music crescendos for a moment, and the first thing that you probably see are 3 enormous crystal chandeliers that are the source of the brilliant illumination in this relatively magnificent chamber. Pillars of stone stand against dull white marble walls supporting the ceiling. In the center of the room is a long, heavy table covered by a fine satin cloth, and the table itself, it has tons of food on it. Looks delicious, smells delicious, to be honest. Let me see if I can bring this up. There we go. There are 6 places set at the table in front of you with fine, delicate china and silver. And at each place there is a crystal goblet filled with what appears to be an amber liquid with a delicate, tantalizing fragrance. And probably the thing that you are most concerned about, at the center of the far wall, between the floor-to-ceiling mirrors, there stands a massive organ, which you've been hearing up until now. The pipes blare out a thunderous melody. And seated at the organ, facing away from you for the moment, is a single caped figure that is working the keys. However, as you enter, the figure stops, and a deep silence fills over the dining hall as he slowly turns towards you, which I believe has actually seen Strahd up close before.
Yeah, he came and visited us at the tree, I think.
Seraph still.
Yeah,
Seraph was not
probably
there.
now, but...
Seraph was not there. We've seen. I think this will be the only time that we haven't like shooed him away, but we've run into him a couple times.
Okay. Well, yeah, Seraph, you're seeing him for the first time. He looks like a human male, in his prime, tall, well-poised, dressed in the finest of dark silks and velvets. Running theme, he seems to have a red and black trim. He has long dark hair pulled behind his shoulders very neatly. He looks like a painting of a nobleman that has recently stepped out of an antique portrait, for lack of a better word. Stands, turns around, smiles, and as you all enter inside, the elf who has been leading you inwards, simply gives a polite bow, and you hear the doors shut behind you. As soon as you do, Strahd steps forward and goes, "My most esteemed guests, welcome. I have long awaited your arrival. I hope your trip here was without unpleasantries. Come, sit down." Motions to the exquisitely laid out table before you. Let us meet at last.
As the magic probably flickers away, do I notice anything hinky about the food?
You don't. Weirdly enough. You expect it, but no. Doesn't seem like it. Legitimately not an illusion. Or anything of the sort.
As that one wears off, then he's going to activate the other one out of his dragon mark. Be it poisoned or diseased in any way.
You
And he looks at it
activate.
and goes, "No offense intended."
Strahd merely smiles. He seems amused but not surprised. Gives a slight, polite incline of the head and allows you to go through the somatic and verbal components as you cast this. And no, you don't detect any poison. At least at this table.
Seems good, guys.
Strahd, having seen you finish the motions, nods again and goes, "Well, we have much to talk about. Please, sit down. Anywhere you'd like. Don't feel pressured. I understand that Barovian food might not be to your standards, but I did try to gather things that you might be familiar with." And he himself turns and sits down at the table at the chair in front of the table.
Does this look like a normal spread of food? Like, is it the same breads and cheeses and like chicken and stuff like that we've seen, or does this look like the nobles who keep all of the food away from?
There is definitely an arrangement of food here that would probably, make a regular Barovian villager's mouth water. There's roasted beast basted in savory sauce. There's roots and herbs of every taste. There's even fruits and vegetables, which you've not seen a lot of. How he procured this, you don't know, but yeah, it looks like something a noble pulls out of who fucking knows where.
And sits down, going, "Yeah, classic Barovian fare." Right, and he'll pull up the chair on the opposite end of the big table, as far away as he can be.
Okay.
Des will just sit kind of in the middle on the left side.
Okay.
I'll sit on like the right side in the middle.
Carter will sit between, like, probably Seraph and Cade, or Cray, on the right side.
Alright. Strahd also sits, picks up a glass of wine, a goblet of wine, which seems to be filled with wine as far as you can tell, although they're not glass, they're all made of metal. So it's difficult to tell, but raises it in somewhat of a toast and goes, "Thank you so much for joining me. Well, let us drink to new friends."
I pick up the goblet and lift it up and be like, to new friends.
He smiles at you.
Does the motion, doesn't toast.
I don't. I can't drink alcohol right now. It doesn't do anything for me. So
It's so unfortunate.
he said that out loud to Strahd. Just so you know, no toast here because I cannot drink.
Strahd legitimately looks sympathetic for a moment and goes, "That is indeed unfortunate. Well, we do have other, more tasteful drinks, such as mead, if that would be something to satisfy you. But whatever makes you more comfortable, I suppose." And he takes a long sip from his own goblet, sets it down, and kind of looks around at all of you to see if you are requiring time to take your own sips or if you're planning to eat anything.
Cray's getting a plate. He'll eat.
Yeah.
There's food. He'll eat.
Yeah.
It passed his tests. It's to him it's safe, and at this point that just means less food for Strahd.
Right, we might as well eat his fancy food, because then less fancy food for him.
Okay.
All of you to make Constitution saving.
Des is also just like cupped to her lips, like just staring deadpan stare at Strahd while she like slowly sips.
He seems to be looking at all of you in equal measure, but when he gets to you, Des, he kind of smiles, almost with an amusement at your death glare, and raises his goblet once again to you and kind of nods and chuckles and takes another sip. And then looks away again, unbothered. This goes on for a little bit. You guys, the food is good. It tastes great. It looks like it's been recently prepared. relatively, not relatively well made. It's probably some of the best food you've ever eaten since you've gotten into Barovia.
Who cooked your food? You're dead. You can't eat.
Kind of chuckles a bit and goes, "Perhaps I cannot enjoy these, but there's much more to life than that, and I do have servants on staff that do require sustenance. It would be a pity to deprive them of the things that I myself cannot have, wouldn't you say?"
Do they live here, like, on purpose?
They live in the servants' quarters, and they do live here of their own accord, if that's what you're asking.
Is he lying?
Roll an insight check.
While they're talking, Ketchi is exploring the room.
Okay. He doesn't appear to be lying necessarily. You don't sense anything. However, it's difficult to tell even with him. He speaks very carefully, so you get the sense that perhaps he's speaking around the truth, but he's not telling you any outright lies, at least not at the moment.
Okay.
Is Catchy trying to find something specific, or just like
exploring,
chilling?
seeing
Exploring?
if he can find a way out to explore the rest of the castle while we eat.
Okay. Let me really quickly.
And Dionadar is laying underneath the table at my feet. And occasionally, Cray will throw down a piece of meat.
I was gonna ask if you were feeding her.
I'm feeding her at the table, yes.
Does she eat it?
She does eat it.
Where does it go?
That was my question, but I wasn't about to.
Magic.
Magic.
Go ahead and roll a perception or investigation check, I suppose, for Catchy. And is Catchy trying to hide, or just walking around like a cat does?
Sort of walking around like a cat does. Not trying to be super, yeah, that's good job.
Okay.
22.
Yeah, kitty.
Alright. I'll put a pin on that.
Walking. Okay.
Okay. I'll put a pin in that and come back to it. While you guys are talking, probably.
Eating the stew on the burner while everything else cooks.
Right. After about maybe 30 minutes of this and back and forth quips about nothing in particular, Strahd seems to be giving you time to eat at least. But eventually he does set his own goblet down and kind of steeples his fingers under his chin and glances at all of you. It clears his throat just a little bit to get your attention. So, you have been traveling my lands for quite a time, and I believe have become well acquainted with Barovia and its many delightful and charming quirks.
We had a choice.
Right, it wasn't in the travel brochure when we left the city.
Yeah. You need to advertise better.
Well, I will do my best. Thank you for the feedback. It's always appreciated. Well, as lord of this domain, you know there's little that escapes my notice. And, if you don't mind talking work over dinner, it has not escaped my notice that your goals and mine may be somewhat aligned. Kind of glances between all of you.
Is this one of those we're friends right up until we're not, and then it gets real propositions?
Well, that's a very astute view to notice. But let's just see how it goes, shall we? You
So
see,
we're not friends.
oh no, we certainly can be best of friends. And kind of glances between all of you, seeming to not size you up necessarily, but look at your reactions.
Cray is picking a piece of meat out of his teeth with a bone.
Strahd leans back, kind of seems to consider it for a moment and goes, to the point, then. You see, any house, no matter how noble or how well maintained has pests. And in recent years, I have run into a bit of a pest problem, I admit. I believe you may have had some personal experience with the hags who had, until recently, taken over the old bone grinder that once belonged to the Durst family. And in
It's
fact,
now a
speaking of
bone
the Durst,
fire grinder.
oh yes, I do recall that you had burnt it down. Well, good riddance. A bit of a pity that the Dursts have been rid of their property so quickly, but I believe you've also dispatched of them as well early on in your arrival.
Did we kill them? We killed a lot of people.
No, it was the children. I thought
Oh,
the ghosty
the
kids.
scary house.
Yeah, the one that like tried to collapse with us in it and was like hundreds of feet tall, but not.
That was weird. Man, that has been so long.
It's been a minute. He kind of looks at Strahd. It's hard to tell here in your wonderful land. How long have we been here?
Oh, that is quite a question, isn't it? Well, by my calculations,
At this point, any number would do because I have completely lost track. So.
Right?
I have been keeping more or less track, but again,
Yeah.
I could be wrong. So, I'll go with what Strahd says, which is, I believe it's been a little under 2 months.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that sounds about. God, that's a lot of terrible things in 2 months.
Right?
I've had 2 months happen where I didn't put on pants, and we had all of this happen.
Is that
Well,
really something to talk about right now?
Strahd seems to be in
Terrible things are.
agreement.
He's legitimately crazily confused. He's like, what? What? We shouldn't be talking about how terrible things are. I thought we were talking about Barovia.
I think he meant the pants part.
Oh, have you tried not wearing pants for an extended period of time?
I
Does
have not.
Does a dress count as pants?
No, because it's kind of do you wear something underneath it?
Are you wearing pants underneath the dress? What is that?
Smaller
'Cause
pants.
if not, dresses are categorically not pants.
Okay.
Strahd kind of looks
Then-
between all of you and then goes, it turns pointedly at Seraph and goes, however, I do believe you haven't been here significantly shorter amount of time. It was Seraph, wasn't it? Was that your name?
That's correct.
I don't believe we've formally met. You have very distinct features. Celestial bloodline, perhaps?
Yes.
I do have an eye for these things. Then again, quite a few of you have wandered in recently. Why, just in the past few centuries, we've had quite the influx. Your kind seem to go rather native, easily. Perhaps you'll find a place here as well? Settle down, start a monastery, a church, a wine business even. There have been stranger ones.
So, why exactly are we here?
Trying to get to the point?
I'm just honestly curious.
I want to work with you, I thought I'd made that much clear. For example, Cray, wasn't it?
Well, that's me.
I've seen your work. Despite your best efforts, you have eluded me very expertly more than a few times. Fear not, I have not peered too closely at your inventions. They do fascinate me, but I know how important it is for someone of your caliber of genius to keep some inventions private. I feel we might have many interests in common, and I feel that this land may offer you far more opportunities than you imagine. There are far fewer restrictions here. You may pursue experiments without the worry of prying eyes, for example, which may aim to dismantle your research by unthreading the morality they are wrapped up in. If you'd like to think about it.
He kind of at first, the first thing he wants to do is roll an insight check as to whether or not he actually thinks that his inventions are cool. Like,
You can do that if you like.
Kind of like isn't the
Is
sus
he
eyes like,
live?
are you buttering me up or do you actually mean it? That's a 25.
25, okay. You get the sense that he is incredibly impressed. However, he's also a very good public speaker in that sense. So he's choosing very carefully what to compliment.
So he's
Hey, good
buttering
stuff.
toast, but also appreciating it.
You know, I try not to do things that would bump against that line, but I do know the line you speak, and the idea of resources. You know, I'd believe it a lot more if it hadn't taken me weeks to find a gem. If you know how many things I have found magical since coming here. He kind of like thumbs to his back. These two, over to Kirk's sword, that, and then his necklace and this, which I think.
I found a hat. Also,
Yeah,
I have
and
your
you got
necklace.
this place. I literally had more magical things in my garage than I have found in your kingdom. So, well, I am honored that you find it fascinating. You don't really know what you're looking at.
Well, you've seen all of Barovia, I don't believe. And although I do understand your frustration with lack of resources, it's something that I struggle with myself. I'm afraid it's not exactly something I'm able to remedy myself.
I thought you were the big bad lord, though. You could do whatever you want.
Well, there are always limitations. And I'd say with that insight check, actually, it will carry over into the fact that as you're pointing out magical items, his eyes kind of inspect all of them bit by bit, and his eyes do stray to specifically Carter's sword, and he seems to lock in on that for a moment, turns his head curiously, and
He
kind of
realized
goes,
it as he said it, but he couldn't double back on it without making it more obvious. So yeah.
kind of pauses and smiles and goes, and it is Carter, isn't it?
Yep. What's up? I don't like that look.
You must feel like a fish out of water in these parts. And yet you've adapted quite well. I admit I've employed many men of your particular skill set. And yet you have managed to surprise me. That sword you carry, would you like to tell me where you acquired it?
Not especially.
That was my bad. Sorry, Carter. I caught up in the moment.
Seems to be familiar to me. I believe a family member of mine once carried something similar. Long
Janitor
ago.
sniffs his crotch from under the table.
Strahd's or yours?
Strahd's, yes. Strahd's. She goes over there and just sticks her snout right up there. Just. It's all he can think to do to distract from this current situation.
Now, being this close to Strahd, how is the sword reacting?
Oh, the sword is feeling like, you know those things that you use to heat up your hands in the winter, like they're charcoal activated? You feel like you have a pack of about 16 of those, like, on your thigh.
Oh, it's mad. Don't like him.
I haven't even, like, talked to Mishnak in a long time.
I know, you've been using Bitey.
Well, I try, but you look at that day count and you're like, he don't bite me.
Strahd kind of, he seems to ignore Dionadar almost completely. Like, you can see from your and granted, like, there's a table in the way, you just know what she's doing, but seems to almost completely ignore it. instead turns to... tears his eyes off of Carter and Carter's sword. You can see probably his steepled hands getting a little bit tighter, but seems to force himself to look at last at Des, he has been ignoring for the most part up until now.
She has been eating as slowly as humanly or tieflingly as possible.
So,
Tieflingly possible.
your speed of eating, then.
I know that speed. I know that speed.
Rude.
Yep. Turns to Des and smiles once again. Despair. That's your name, isn't it?
Some
Do
people, I
you
guess.
do you feel it suits you? Do you prefer another moniker?
For you, no, that's okay.
I feel that sometimes names can reveal so much about a person. I know that you serve the Raven Queen. I know that her touch does not reach as far into this plane as she might hope. And yet you persevere here, doing your due diligence to make the passing of those souls and their inevitable reincarnation remain pure. In fact, the favor that I ask concerns this specifically. And for just a moment, you see his expression darken from the usual smile, the very polite, host smile that he's had on his face up until now. Kind of sweeps you all with a glance. I believe you are familiar with Irina?
I mean, we knew her for like a day and then she got kidnapped because I died.
That's what happened, actually, pretty well.
I know of her.
You do?
From your stories.
Oh, because we told you. I thought you... Huh.
That's Flora.
No, I was going to say, I thought that you somehow knew her some other way.
From backstory.
Right.
No, I don't.
Okay. That would be concerning.
We know that she's most likely being held by an enemy of yours.
Yes.
If she's even still alive.
Well, that is the question, isn't it?
Do you not know?
Picks up another long sip of wine, sets it down, and you can see now that there is like a bit of anger behind his facade now, although he's trying very hard to remain cordial. Takes another sip, kind of leans forward. She is important to me. I will put it as simply as possible for you all. In another lifetime, we were meant to be together. Soulmates, one might say. Unfortunately, due to the curse laid upon this land, neither her soul nor mine can retire to be together. And as it stands, she is constantly reborn into new vessels.
She didn't seem like your biggest fan when we found her. Does the whole soulmate thing carry over too, or do you have to kind of start over?
Well, it's really... love is something that takes work. And although this lifetime has not brought her back to me, I am nevertheless ill-inclined to see her hurt. And, as you've mentioned, it's come to my attention early on that during your escort of her, she was, lost.
It's a gentle way to put it.
Kind of glances at Cray. His
Cray
hands...
just locks eyes with him, and he's just furious.
Strahd returns it. He seems to be quite frustrated with the situation as well. But wrestles himself back into more or less amiability and goes, the hags, that is one issue. Death, that is another. Were it merely that she had died, I would allow myself to mourn and move on. Wait for another lifetime, another chance. I am no stranger to waiting for things. And yet, the situation at hand is more dire. You see, you have allowed Irina to fall into the hands of Lysaga. Lysaga is has long been an associate of mine, and even longer, a thorn in my side. She and I don't often see eye to eye. And she has plans for Irina, I fear. Plans that would lead her away from the welcoming embrace of your Raven Queen forever. And he glances back at Des.
Thought that souls couldn't move on here.
Yes, well, for
Wait,
Soul
unless
to...
is she gonna turn it? Wait, she's gonna turn her into a vampire? I thought that was your thing.
There is old magic at play when it comes to Lasaga.
Do you know where this Lasaga is? At least?
He's in the city of... I need to see the map, but it's over towards the west. We know it.
I believe I know the general location, although she
Perez.
tends to escape me. Yes, Perez is my guess. Lasaga is an old creature. She does have ways of evading my eyes. However, for those like you, she may be somewhat unprepared, and therefore you may have a much better chance of stopping whatever it is she plans to do. Especially with you, Despair. My only plea to you is that you use the power you have at your side with the Raven Queen to stop these machinations.
I'm just confused. Like, is what she's gonna do to her worse than what you're gonna do to her?
I have no plans to do anything to her, child. If she is not going to return into my embrace this lifetime, I am content to wait for another. But for that to happen, she first must be able to return.
And you think that she's not gonna be put back into the cycle, I guess?
That is my fear. Although I'd love to be proven wrong.
How would that happen?
They destroy the soul.
It is possible.
He kind of like says all of it very under his breath, just
Strahd seems to hear you, and he glances at you, Cray, and locks eyes with you, and you see just the briefest hint of a nod.
That can't.
Queen didn't really say anything about destroying souls. Seems bad though.
No, but
Well, I am all for saving an innocent, but I don't know if we're strong enough for that. Because she sounds very powerful. I've never seen her before, but I can't really say for sure if we're properly equipped.
I would say you are more than.
If you're offering to outfit us, there are some
Yeah,
things we've been looking for that would assist
feeling
in our
generous.
endeavors, Lord Strahd. Your land, this table before us, rich with foods and drink from all corners of it. The land outside, nothing like this table. So, is the rest of your house like this table? Do you have equipment that could assist us in ensuring Arena's safety as a common goal for all involved and a show of good faith in both directions?
Well, what would you like? If it's gold that you're seeking, that I can certainly provide. If it is armor, then perhaps I can provide that as well. I'm afraid that I have very little use for that which you equip yourselves with. It's not necessarily my
If you had
wheelhouse.
an armory or some storage room that we could peruse to see if perhaps any former candidates or guests of yours left anything behind that might be useful to us.
It only
I
helps
kind of
you to help us.
Strahd kind of considers this and goes, I'm afraid that's... well, most of the things that previous visitors have brought into this castle are, not necessarily lost, but tend to find their ways into interesting places. I'm embarrassed to admit I don't really keep track of them.
Can we
Not
look?
really.
Can you improve stuff? Are you able to just like boost stuff we have? Because that would be equally handy. It would go a long way in motivating us.
Kind of goes, I don't believe you need the boosts that you seek. If there is something specific, I would be glad to provide gold or ways of safe passage, let's say, but I do believe.
I'm
Gold
looking for a
doesn't buy
nice magical
anything.
breastplate.
I need it at least like a +1 on a rapier, sir, Mr. Stride.
I mean, we're going to be
Because
fighting.
as it stands, I'm ill-equipped to handle a lot of what you kind of pepper out there to, slow our progress.
The door creak at that moment was just perfect.
I know.
And Dust pipes up too. I like shiny things.
We're not looking for much. There are some gaps in our armaments that would be well filled, probably better by scraps around here than what we can find in the lands below. We've looked.
Because
There's not much.
you can give us gold, but there's nothing to buy. No one has stuff.
You have kind of hoarded it all away from people. Kind of like looks around at all the decorations and just artistry and
there's
sheer
like
just
tapestries on the wall. This place is.
and just sort of like gestures just subtly to all of it.
Not only that, we've also kind of bought everything that can be bought at this point.
We've even adopted your most talented craftsman into our family.
Roll a persuasion check, Cray.
Okay, just straight persuasion.
Yeah, can we help him?
Right?
I'd say yeah, you're helping, so advantage is fine.
Hell yeah.
That's a nat 20.
Hell
yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Powerful.
All right.
That's powerful. I feel
Power of friendship.
I feel a little bit like Rose right now, and
Hell
I get
yeah.
it. I understand.
The high persuasion.
I didn't even need
I
the
kind of
advantage.
Right?
considers it, and he glances at Des again and goes, well, it's an interesting bargain that you're attempting to push, and you do still owe me a favor, I believe, but,
We do, and we're gonna do it, but what if we go there and just die again?
that
Then
would be...
Arena gets murdered, and Soul murdered, and you never see her again.
That is a very fair point.
And I mean, we
Horned
could
one?
die, and then you gotta wait on more people to show up.
Or bring them here, and I can only imagine that. Sidebar for just a second. I know that we've talked about it out of campaign. Do we know in campaign that we're like not on the material plane anymore? I thought it had come up.
Really?
I think it did.
Ava might have said something about that, but
I'm not the right person for this
Yeah,
conversation.
it would have been Ava would have been the one that mentioned it. If
I
anybody.
believe you have figured it out more or less through your conversations with Ava, yeah, because she gave you a little bit of history on Strahd, so.
And you know how much power it must take to open up those little misty doorways that trap people here.
Honestly, it's a fair point you make. I'm a patient man and I can always wait, but this does seem to be somewhat of a pressing matter. Very well. I shall have my servants search the quarters for anything left discarded. You are looking for armaments? You are looking for weapons? You seem to be outfitted quite well.
He kind of like pulls out his scale mail. This needs replacing. It looks nice, but trust me, that's not. It's not.
Carter pull out the freshly silvered rapier, just be like, yeah, and this is kind of in the same boat. This will help if we run into wolves, but I mean, it was better than nothing. But if we're about to go up against something serious, I would feel a little bit safer if it wasn't just a regular rapier.
Strahd kind of considers it a little bit further and inclines his head and goes, "Yes, very well. I shall have my servants peruse the castle and see what discarded items they can find. Anything that you pick up. However, this will have to be a delivery that is made perhaps a little later. Unless, of course, you'd like to stay here."
I mean, we can for a little bit. I don't really need weapons or armor. Can I look for my own thing?
What is it you see?
Just something cool and shiny and magical.
This tends to work in mysterious ways. She listens to the Raven Queen. She hears her guiding her on the winds, and who are we to argue with gods?
This castle is not exactly one that is easily navigatable, and I'm quite busy in my
I've got a
own
great mind
ways.
for maps. I'll accompany her.
I would rather that you focus your intents currently on finding Lysaga as quickly as possible. I believe that any time wasted here, fun as it might be for both yourselves and me, might contribute to a late arrival, shall we say. You've already wasted quite a bit of my time for this invitation, and I've been more than patient with you.
Just let me look around for like an hour. I'm good at finding things.
Kind of glances at...
We already know where the saga is. We have determined it in our research, hunting her down on our own, independent of your wants or needs, because we fucked up and Irina got taken under our watch. So we know she's in Perez. We've determined at least that much, or at least the areas surrounding where Perez used to occupy. And you've already proven that you possess transportation much faster than our legs in this wonderful land. So if you could facilitate travel back, then what would another hour here be for us to see if there's anything interesting, and perhaps give your servants some time to scrounge up a few useful objects?
Kind of leans forward and goes, "I believe you misunderstand. The reason that I'm sending you out there and not going myself is because Lysaga has quite a few ways to anticipate my incoming, and the usage of my own magic is something that will immediately tip her off. She is not one to be allergic to movement, if that will keep her plans in control."
Oh, what is the name of that tower? Oh, we've camped at that river with that tower so many times.
I don't know.
Oh, Van Richten's?
No, the tower that's just north of that bridge that's along that lake.
On the map, it says literally just the tower.
Yeah, the tower. But
the tower.
Cray will be like, well, we know that you can at least get to and from Crest. Could you get us to this bridge here, near the tower? We can go on foot from there, but you would save us at least a day or two of travel time, because if we're going to be trekking back from here, Castle Ravenloft, it's going to take us a minute. And if time is of the essence, which you seem to indicate, that saves us a lot.
I can indeed deliver you to... Yes, I believe I can deliver you to the lake that you are speaking of. That would perhaps be much better than delivering you directly to Berez, as that would most certainly allow her to sense your incoming.
We wouldn't want anyone thinking you're involved.
Trust me, I do not mind her knowing I'm involved. However, I would prefer that you have at least a slight jump on her. If that tracks.
Well, I appreciate it. Okay.
Right.
Did Kitchi at any point find a way out of this room while you were talking?
Yes, sorry, I was actually just about to go back to that. Kitchi has, tell me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, has actually noticed a specific thing in this hall. While exploring, he's noticed a draft from behind the organ, in the way that cats do. And has also noticed a bit of like scratch marks along the floor that suggest that the organ could perhaps be moved, and there is something behind it. But being a cat is not necessarily able to determine how that would be done.
Alright.
That seems to be a secret way out of the room. Aside from that, nothing else.
Right then. Alright. So, are me and Des gonna take a look around for something shiny?
Roll another persuasion check. This time with disadvantage because you've already asked him a favor.
Yeah, I know. That's fair. This is a 13. Oh. That was another nat 20. It was another 20.
He kind of squints his eyes at you and goes, I would prefer you get moving. Therefore, you may look around. However, my invitation into the castle, as it stands here, and we have come to our arrangement, my hospitality will unfortunately end here. This is an old building, and architecture has such a way of running away from you. Therefore, you are, of course, free to wander in and explore on your own. However, I will curb my protection and reserve my energies on looking upon getting you those items that you requested. So anything that you might come across in here, I am afraid I cannot promise you that it will prevent itself from perhaps not taking as kindly to you as I have.
All seems fair and reasonable.
Can we finish the food before we have to leave, and then look around before we have to leave?
I thought we had finished.
Des didn't.
Oh, that's right.
Des was eating very slowly. Gina
Des,
slowly.
maybe we should just get you a doggy bag, and you can bring it home with you, or bring it back with you. Eat it in the wagon on the ride.
I mean, sure, we'll take stuff with us because it's tasty, but fine. We need to look around now.
Very well.
We take plates with us.
You have my blessing, but for a single minute, as I am going to go ahead and attempt to procure for you the things that you've requested. The carriage, which will take you to the lake, will be waiting until the end of the hour, whereupon it will depart without you, so do make sure that you arrive on time. And with that, he stands, kind of wipes his hands delicately, despite the fact that he has not eaten a single bite. Wipes his hands delicately on the napkin, and then just goes ahead and strolls backwards and straight up strolls towards the organ, doesn't pause, and walks directly into it, phasing through it as if he is a ghost himself, and just like straight up walks into the wall and the portion behind it.
Well, then.
That's normal.
Vampires, man.
All right. Well, we don't
As
have
soon as
long.
that happens, the torches go out in the
Ah.
entirety of the room, and it is plunged into darkness,
Oh boy.
and the atmosphere seems to almost grow colder entirely. And you guys are alone in this great dining hall.
Alright, well, as soon as he leaves, I want to cast a spell. Can I whisper it to you?
Sure.
Okay.
And let me move you guys to a map, just because, and I hope that this is gonna work. I hope that it's gonna work, because I tried to set it up so that it works, but...
It's black.
Damn it! I have
As he
legacy lighting
disappears,
on.
Creo, yeah, he walks through the door that she found. Though he seemed to just be, a ghost, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting he kind of like stands up and walks over to the organ, looks at it. I was expecting that to move. I still think it would, but
Do you really want to try it when he's probably, I don't know, upset?
I think we pushed our luck about as far as I want to right now. We've at least secured a ride back to fuck the hell out of here.
Did he say he was gonna like send anything he found to us out of here? Or like that it was gonna happen within the hour that we were permitted?
We were permitted a minute before.
He said an hour.
He said the carriage will
okay.
be an hour, but he was permitting you a minute before all bets are off and just do whatever. But I don't believe he actually ever mentioned how he would get the items to you, just that he would procure them for you.
He's delivered things to us before in the past. Wine, letters.
So we're on a time. We're on like a fucking game show right now. We have an hour to get anything we can grab and then go.
In the darkness, Jess sits like on the ground for a minute.
Can you guys see it all or no?
No.
No.
Nope.
I'm trying to give you guys. I think it's legacy blah 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 blah. Legacy lighting.
I usually turn all of that off. Like I turn every lighting effect in that menu off, and then I just hide things. And the only thing that it should be is fog of war. I think is what it calls the.
Because I should give you the ability to have vision. Edge of the available light. And it should be lit. Reveal areas. Like this? Turn on fog of war. Oh Jesus. Okay, hold on. Maybe this will work. Now can you see shit?
No.
Damn it! Hold on. Hold on. We will figure this out.
I believe in you.
Advanced legacy setting? Legacy lighting off. Dynamic lighting off. Save settings?
Haha!
There it is.
Haha!
Now we see everything.
everything.
We see everything. Oh god.
No.
See, this is
Oh,
what
look,
I was
the
trying to
bridge.
avoid. This is what I was trying to avoid, but apparently it's... Right. Run on
It
fog of war.
takes time.
There we go.
Yay!
Okay.
There we go.
We can see clearly now. The shades are gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
Alright.
an old picture of Carter?
Is
It
it?
is. It's the old token.
I
why
can't
is
even
it the old
select it.
token?
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't
what?
select mine either.
Why? Where did I get these? How did I get these? Jesus.
Where
Okay,
did
hold
you
on.
come from?
Yeah, I'm trying to hold on. Let me delete all
Oh,
y'all.
we all just vanished.
Woo.
We're ghosts now.
Yeah, sorry.
Now we're dead.
I'm gonna grab. Where's the last time we used the tokens where it actually worked? Was it the Abbey when you guys went to
Yeah.
So,
the
yeah.
Abbot?
Probably.
Yeah,
Is this
we
gonna
had all
turn
the
out to be the
tokens, yeah.
Sixth Sense, and we were ghosts all along?
Yes.
You know, it would explain a few things.
What it?
No.
It might.
I wish that second persuasion had just been a flat roll, but God, that
So
God, that
close.
20, it's so close.
You were pushing it. You were pushing it.
It's okay.
Oh, I know I was.
You got me what I
100%.
wanted. I at least wanted just like a second to look around.
Well, the problem is that I'm guessing that there are defenses in place that he is not going to just turn off like he did when we walked in.
I mean,
So,
sure.
Hold on.
I'm
I'm
gonna
still
be
trying to
keeping
grab
my
your motherfucking tokens. I got him now.
keeping
I
my
got him.
eyes out for traps.
And
Right.
also watch out for monsters and stuff, because he did say that other things might not be as hospitable as he is, especially now that he's gone.
Yeah.
No,
That
I
that's just
really
as
do actually hope we fight something, because
Right.
Bitey's really hungry, and I don't want him to
Okay, I
bite
can
me.
move now.
I thought you already fed Bitey.
No, Bitey is...
I think you
Bitey
guys were
hasn't
sitting like
eaten in a
this.
few days.
Yeah, there we go.
Where are my animals? Oh, my
Oh, sorry, I didn't get your animal.
all my tokens!
Hold on.
I do
There we
like
go.
I'm still the odd one out because it's not in Chekhov's art style.
Oh, no.
It's because you changed
All right.
characters.
It's
I
because
will-
I changed characters.
Sorry, I shall
I
drive.
can't control them.
I'm not. I don't
can't
wanna. I
control
don't
it.
wanna force you. I
Hold
just
on,
think it's
hold
funny.
on. Name. Controlled by. Determined by character settings. Well, why isn't it? You can't move yours?
I mean, I can move mine. I can't move D or...
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry, one sec. None. Generic token. No, this is the Onidar. We have to actually... I do hope you also find something, but also we are almost getting close to the end of the time that we're technically supposed to be playing, so... What do you guys think? What do you want to do?
A little bit longer until we.
Just a little longer? Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. This should be... There we go. Okay. Tell me if you can move him now. I believe I assigned him back to the tokens.
Meow.
Zoom.
How's that, Cray?
Yep, I got them again.
Okay. So you guys are
their-
zooming
their
around.
bubbles aren't set, but it's alright.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to do in this room, or what are you doing? It is technically not lit.
It is dark.
Can I cast
Oi.
light on on Dionadar?
The dog
Pat
lights up.
him. I'll just pat him on his head and cast light.
Just tilts her head sideways, looks at you, and then just starts running around chasing her glowing tail. Great. Well, that's one way to do things.
Can Dust do the thing that I messaged you about?
Oh yes, did I message you back? I thought I did.
No.
Locate. Oh yes. Let me double check the. Let me double check the thing. Let me double check my damn notes. So Des is in the middle of the room, beginning to cast some sort of spell. You do not get a signal coming back to you.
Okay. You can't do detect magic anymore, can you?
No.
Dang it. What would be the most useful thing for me to have? I don't know. She's asking you guys.
What do you mean?
Like, if I were to find something...
I mean...
Like...
Oh, I thought we were here... We were gonna look for something particular, but...
Well, I was gonna look for something and I didn't find it.
Do we just head on out? Get on...
But if I don't find my own thing, then he's not gonna give me anything.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
Just something that makes me stronger.
I mean, Seraph didn't ask for anything either. Seraph's getting left out.
Well, he didn't ask for anything.
I don't know if there is anything.
I mean, that's why you gotta ask, dude. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's pretty much... Yep, I agree. What do you? I mean, I don't know what.
I mean, we're on a time constraint though, so if
Yeah.
you are thinking about looking, we should get rolling.
Is this door like? I would first like to see if it's trapped.
Sure. Roll an investigation check to see if the door is
Thank
trapped.
you. Well, Des is trying to figure out what she's gonna look for.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I did not have my character sheet open. Yeah. That's a 13.
Doesn't seem to be trapped. Seems to be a door.
All right. I open the door and look out in the hallway.
And the door creaks open,
Boom! There
and
goes
you
off the
see
bomb.
Yeah, right.
Fireball. You see before you the same. God damn it! I said reveal. Fucking never ending. And you see before you the same hallway that you had entered next to, and immediately in front of you, you see a suit of full plate armor that is just standing there, apparently. You also see a little hallway that seems to lead into a sort of spiral staircase that you'd spotted before. And then off to the left, you can see the main entryway. What was it called? Like the great entry that you'd entered through?
Yeah.
The Great Hall.
Something like. All right. Jundar. He brings out the glowing dog, so you can see. I'll leave Kachi with this. All right. So how nosy do we want it to be? I guess is going to be the question.
Is that
I mean,
a safe thing to do?
he
He kind
said
of like
No,
starts stepping
you
it
out.
is
could.
absolutely. He made it clear it was not going to be a safe thing to do. But
Right.
how often do we do the safe thing?
Right. And
We-
how often are we going to get this opportunity?
We can look around for like half an hour, and then we have to run back to the carriage, or else it's gonna leave without us.
I'm good with a little bit of shenanigans. I gotta
Death will
see.
go over towards this door.
All right. Do you put your hand on it?
Can I touch this?
Let me check it first.
She's slowly reaching out towards it.
Can I see if it's trapped?
Sure, roll
Pardon,
an investigation check.
Press up against this. Just
22.
Okay. You're checking the door for traps, and you don't necessarily find any traps, but as you're working on it and like chapping on the sides of it, trying to see if there's anything that you can notice about the stones on the sides, you do see something out of the corner of your eye, and it is movement from above. And just as you're about to put your hands on the door and be like, nope, you guys, it's not trapped, you hear something behind you, kind of like the creaking of stone, you know, that like low rumbling.
Trey, you wanna grab your cat?
And as you glance upward, you see that one of the statues of the gargoyles that you'd seen when you first walked in is slowly turning its head to look towards you. And just as you're like, oh, well, there's that, it
Okay, look,
throws
gargoyle.
itself
Ah!
down on top of you, and I'm gonna need everybody to roll me some fucking initiative.
Click your token.
God, you said we had an hour. Oh
Click
God.
But she said you have a minute before.
Okay, you said we have a minute. This has been a minute.
We easily fucked around in that room for a minute.
Dang it.
Easily.
Yeah, I would say.
Easily.
Look, Cray, you don't have to use Flash of Genius.
You can if you want to beat me, though.
Where was I don't see. Oh, you're on DM.
Oh shit! I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, it shows in the turn order.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, it does. You did roll
Death's
that
coming in
point.
strong with that 22.
Right.
All right, give me
I rolled
one second.
It's still a 14.
I
but,
rolled
you know.
up 5.
Very good.
Because that means you add your proficiency to your initiative, right? Yeah, you have to be. That's fucking dope.
So I'm gonna have
Oh,
to.
not me. I add my charisma modifier to
Oh,
it.
it's your charisma. Okay.
Yeah, it's from
The
Swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. As you guys turn around, you see that in fact all of the gargoyles that have been positioned into the ceiling, they look like they've been carved into the ceiling, but instead what you're seeing now is that they're literally pulling themselves out of it and unhinging themselves, their stone bodies moving. And I'm gonna have to roll initiative for all these motherfuckers. Or I could just have them all go on the same turn.
Yeah, that definitely won't murder us.
Only
let you
if we
decide.
go after all of them.
Initiative.
Okay.
Maybe
just-
don't put 8 of them on the same
Yeah, or
action.
you can do them in 2 groups of 4, like.
Yeah, let's actually
just,
do
like,
them in
alternating
groups.
one,
Yeah, that'd be better than
You
8
could do
actions in a
4
row.
and then
Yeah, you
roll
can do 4
initiative for.
sets of 2 and just go like east, west, north, and south 2. You know.
Yeah, that would also be good.
There we go. Yeah, let's do 2 groups. I'm gonna mark them with some little things. Hold on. This one's gonna be yellow. Yellow's gonna be initiative 3 and or whatever the fuck they called, and the other ones are gonna be initiative something else.
Initiative 15. That's good.
Initiative 15.
So that's me and Des, and then the 15 goes. The 15 team goes, and then Carter and Seraph, and then the 3 goes. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll feel fun.
Yep.
It's
Wait,
kind
did
of
I roll
loud.
initiative? Oh, sorry. Is it loud? It's not loud for me, weirdly. There we go.
It's kind of loud for me.
Oh,
There we go. Did I lower it enough?
That's good. That's good.
Okay. Cool. Des, you're going first.
Sure.
A gargoyle, I will say, has just dropped next to Cray, so it's probably right about here. Sorry, the other one. It's here. And you are seeing this, so.
She reaches towards the door, and then the gargoyle drops, and she pulls her hand back, and she's son of a bitch! Really? Come on. We didn't even do anything yet. And then I will cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. Nice. DC 16 Wisdom save?
Yep.
Do they have to make it now, or do they have to make it at the start of their turn?
You can click spells.
I was trying to. When you cast a spell, designate the affected creature's speed is half in the area when the creature enters the area for the first time on its turn or starts its turn there. So when they start
it'll
the
be on
turn,
turn. Yeah.
Cool.
But this is how it begins. This shit put in work last time for us.
right?
yeah, it
And it's
did.
a 15-foot radius around myself.
Oh, I was about to do it, but...
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
I don't see
Okay.
it.
I do. That's all that matters.
Right. And then for my bonus action, I will cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay. Wisdom saving throws all around.
Right? All the wisdom saving throws.
I'm
all
sure
the
these gargoyles have super good wisdom.
Yeah,
They're
they're
fine.
super wise. They've seen some shit.
Is this Halo music?
I think it is, but it works
It
really well.
is. It is.
Like
I
I
would
was like,
like
I
to
really
get
dig
proper
this
fighting
music.
music.
It's
Yeah.
super good. And then I googled it and I was like, oh, it's from Halo Reach. All right, cool.
Yeah,
It
I know my
does
video
fit.
game music.
It really does fit. It fits really well.
Yeah, I'm finally
And then
trying to get
she-
music up in this shit.
Right? You have to teach Kate how to do it.
I figured out how to do it. I just can't find music on the spot like that.
Yeah.
Like if
I
I
know.
had clicked on this song and come across this while we were fighting Rokai, I would have played it. But it would have had to also loop like 8 times. But
I mean, not that you don't think this one's gonna loop like 8 times.
oh, it is.
It is, but it's thankfully like 5 minutes long, so.
Great. Okay, but that's my
all right.
that's my turn.
That's
She just
your
takes
turn?
like a defensive stance.
Cool, great. Cray, you're up next. A gargoyle just dropped in front of you, and some spirit guard. What do your spirit guardians look like?
They're little glowing fireflies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fireflies. And immediately Des is like, "Ah, shit!" and it just bursts into fireflies all around.
Fireflies.
Boom.
All right. Well, I heard about fight or flight. I guess fight or fireflies is a thing.
Fight and fireflies.
Can D get into that corner so that I can flank this one?
I would say yes. It's not a square, so yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, if not, I can also
She's a
see
dog.
if
Yeah, she can fit.
she can knock it prone. But in that case, I'm gonna bring Bitey off my back. Let's go crit fishing.
Go, buddy.
So first attack
Nice.
is not off to a great start, but that's actually a 17.
Okay.
Second attack is there.
Hey!
There you go.
There we go. Off the bat.
So is that
There
a
you go.
12 or the 17? How
It-
did you have
so
that?
my elven accuracy lets me re-roll
Oh.
one die anytime I have advantage, so I technically roll 3 attacks and pick one of them.
Ooh, I see. Well,
So
17
that
does
first
hit,
attack is a 17, okay?
and
so
you
that
got your
one-
crit.
And I did. All right, so
But does
that's
it like
5.
stone?
Yum.
I mean, it's
Stone.
just it's like a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So there's the base damage for Bitey.
Okay.
So it's a total of 32, and then additional 14, so 46.
Damn. All right. Yep. First, when you swing your blade, it seems to just glance off of the stone, but you immediately turn it, and the elven accuracy allows you to jam it in between what appears to be cracks of stone. Sounds awful. Sounds like you're grinding a sword across some rock, but
Ugh.
seems to have the intended effect. Sorry, give me the total again. 40...
46.
46, okay.
And now you don't have to worry about getting bit by Bitey.
No, I've already
Right?
reset the day count.
Yeah, I mean, Bitey does open up and take a giant chunk of it, and the gargoyle immediately loses a part of its torso and a great part of its arm and just screeches and moves backward, but hot
It's
damn,
still
Bitey
alive.
doesn't seem super thrilled to be in stone.
He needs
That's
meat.
Rocks.
He's not sentient yet. He can complain to me when he can complain to me. All right, well then, Deodadar with advantage because I'm flanking, so this is 25
25, yeah, hits.
or 5 damage, so a total of 51 this turn.
Alright, Deonadar takes a relatively large chunk out of it as well, and just remind me, do Deonadar's attacks automatically count as magical or no?
It's force damage, so
So it is, okay.
magical. Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
She is just a magical construct in general.
She does. So she essentially rams the remains of whatever one, you struck, and it's basically on its last legs, but whatever magic that's holding it together as, an animate object seems to still be hanging on. It's literally just barely holding itself together.
Should have used Booming Blade. Oh well. That's my turn.
Alright, now it's the gargoyle's turn. I'm going to probably say that... Yeah, let's do the yellow on the first initiative count, since he's the one that dropped down next to you. That seems fair to everyone.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Give him a turn before he gets turned.
I mean,
Yeah, he's
when he
gonna
starts
die.
his turn in the Spirit Guardians, he takes
The wisdom.
21.
He has to make
If
a
he does,
wisdom save.
yeah, he makes a
True,
wisdom
let's
save
make a
and
wisdom save.
otherwise takes 21 radiant damage.
Oh no.
Makes
Oh,
the
no.
wisdom save. Takes half or no?
Yeah, half.
Half? Okay. Seems to be unaffected by the fireflies, but then they just swarm it, and
Mhm.
that last bit of just pushes it over the edge. That gargoyle is gone.
Oh no!
Nice.
Alright. This next one also has to make a wisdom save.
This one?
13 doesn't make it, so that's how much?
21.
They're doing
21. Holy
I rolled really
crap.
well for my Spirit
Yeah, you
Guardians.
Holy shit. This
8, a
one,
7, and a 6.
yeah. This one is going to rush in to Seraph and Carter, yeah, but also has to make a wisdom save because it's going into your radius of effect. Fucking hell.
Spirit Guardians.
Right?
Yeah, that's a 3. Not gonna make that. Minus
21.
21. And this one is going to go ahead
Like
and
running
rush-
into a paper shredder.
Yeah, essentially. That's exactly
Another
what they're
wisdom
doing.
save.
Yup.
That is a 9. Another 21. Yeah, those
Oh, you need
fireflies.
to
are-
add another guardian to the roll
What?
in the turn order.
Oh,
Well, no, one of them died.
one of
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
No, no,
shit,
one,
that's
one
right.
actually
the
died.
token that was tracking the one that rolled a 3 was
Oh,
removed.
I see.
Ah.
Yes. I will add a gargoyle.
It was a good
That's
catch.
right.
I just
damn it,
noticed
minus 21.
Ah,
You're right. For the 3.
Mm.
Add turn. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit like Rose this session. I feel a little bit like Eodos this session. Did
Alright.
51 damage in a turn. That was this one.
Right.
However,
You must
they
be
are
so
going
excited.
to.
I feel good.
They are going to attempt to attack you, and I believe you have Sanctuary. Is that right?
He needs to make another wisdom saving throw to target me.
Another Wisdom saving throw to target you. With a 1 is going to fail and is going to target Cray instead.
No, okay. I mean, just so that everything is fair, she does have Kachi on her shoulder.
Oh, I don't know. They're looking for the bigger targets. I don't think the cat is
Okay,
enough.
that's
more.
fair. The cat
I
has
think
AC and HP, and I can remake it. So if it gets destroyed, it's not a huge deal.
Murder
But
your cat off the bat.
Fair enough,
for
but the
all
cat is.
rules,
Yeah, the cat is on death, so I don't think it's going to go exactly for the cat.
he's just sort of like clung to her shoulder, just like hissing angrily.
That's why I'm pretty excited to have that fucking Drake companion in that other.
Right?
It's completely expendable. You can always just summon it back if you got spell slot. Easy.
Yep. That was exactly what that one mercenary did. That
There we go.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
I will cancel the crit.
Okay. So that is 7 points of piercing damage. Or is that with the crit? Is it doubling the dice? Or
Yeah,
not?
it would just be the 3.
Oh, yeah, it
Three,
would
yeah.
just be the 3.
crit.
All right. 3 piercing damage to crit, and I don't believe the 14 hits anyway. So.
That's rude.
All right. Dust reaches out, stops the crit from happening.
No.
Appreciate
the other
that.
ones are going to go ahead and make their attacks on Carter and Seraph. That's a 19 and a 24 for Carter.
Yep, the 19 hits. So does the 24.
Okay, that is 14 points of piercing damage to you from the gargoyle mauling you.
It's
And
like easy to do.
Right?
I
And I can
know.
only do it once because I only
Yeah,
have one
damn.
reaction.
Yep.
that is a 9 and a 6 to hit Seraph.
That is a
Neither of
no.
which hit. That is a no, and that is
Those
all
would
they
still
do.
not hit on Flora.
Yeah, wow. I used up all of my luck.
Those rolls are so bad they couldn't even hit Flora.
Damn.
I'm so
No.
glad
Burn.
Flora's now a
Pretty
meme.
Brutal. I'm sorry, that was rude. I shouldn't speak so
All
unkindly.
right, that
my
is
DM.
Carter's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna
I
move right
can.
here.
Flora was mine.
Let that one get an opportunity to attack if it wants it.
It will take it as a reaction. It's probably going to do claws. That's a 2. Nope.
No, that's what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna swing on this one with advantage.
Okay. It definitely hits.
Right, and rev up that
Oh, that's neat.
strength save,
All right.
or let it be prone.
Okay. That's a 2.
Hell
It's prone. Oh, sorry, I didn't. And where the
Alright.
hell do I?
It's amazing how after using those 2 crits, your rolls are just at the bottom.
Right. That was all. That was it.
And that is
18 from the first swing.
so 18. Okay.
The same thing, so I know that hits.
And it's 11 radiant. That also hits. Another
18.
11.
At least let me swing with advantage as well.
No, die right now.
15. Yep, that'll be enough. Carter swings around to the other side of it and just basically annihilates it. I'm not gonna take them off the board because I don't remember which one I rolled initiative on. but that
If you
one's good.
hover over it,
It's
Oh, that's probably
this
good.
one is the 15, and this one's the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm gonna move right here to stop this one from running up on Seraph.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool. All right. Next to Seraph.
You might want to put the 3 under me, since those guys are supposed to take its turn afterwards.
Oh shit, that's right. Oh, they didn't move. Okay, there we go.
I'm just gonna swing at it with my keyblade.
Yeah.
Blup.
That's a 19 to hit. Yeah, it hits.
Yay! I hit!
Yay.
Okay, I also have dueling.
Here you go.
All right.
Hell yeah, dude.
That is. So that's a total of, let's see, 14, 3.
17.
Okay. That's. And Keyblade is an inherently magical weapon, I believe.
It is, yes.
17, okay.
And
Seems to take quite a hit.
Have extra attack. I'll end my turn.
Okay. Cool. Next up is the other gargoyles.
Back to back with Carter.
Yep. You guys are fighting back to back. It's gonna take, this one next to Carter is going to take 2 attacks on Carter. That's a 20. I don't believe this 12 hits, but the 20 should.
Yep, and since it missed, I'm gonna swing back on that fool.
Alright. 8 piercing damage, and then what is it? Hit.
Does the Battlemaster stuff specify that it has to be a melee weapon attack or a melee attack?
For riposte, it's got to be a melee weapon.
Their
that was
claws
just
do
that was
count
just
as melee weapons, so.
No, not them. Like my
you.
use. Any attack that, like, they could cast a spell at me, and if they miss and they're in melee range, I could still swing on them. But that's just the 22.
I've just weighed the options of putting it on Rogs. Battlemaster on Rogs. Because tripping folks and stunning them, that's kind of like his deal. That is like the one battle we did, he jumped on the back of a wolf and beat it senseless.
Yeah.
One of these doesn't have to be, but the other 2 do, I want to say.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. So that's 18.
Yeah.
And that's a
lunge,
reaction.
Yeah, that's my reaction.
Okay.
Because it missed. Lunge does say a melee weapon attack. Trip is a weapon attack, so you could probably do that one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And riposte is also a melee weapon, so trip would work.
I mean, that makes sense. And if I did nothing else other than take the battle maneuvers fighting style.
Oh shit, no wait. No, never mind.
I would just have like 2 battle die I could get from feet. Oh no. Oh no.
21 points of damage from the fireflies.
Yep.
However, it will run up and try to wail on Cray.
Bring it.
Like a buddy.
Crits.
That is 22.
I will shield the 22.
Okay.
Putting my AC at 23.
Alright, and I don't believe the 13 hits anyways, so. I roll like shit for enemies. You guys like this.
We're also pretty beefy.
Yeah, you did also roll 2 crits, and one was just.
I did
to start out with.
I did. Alright, that one is stuck between you guys and the door. This one, whose turn it also is probably going to... Are they smart enough not to run into the fireflies?
If their intelligence is below a 10, I would probably say no.
It's actually shocking. Yeah, I was going to say kind of the same thing, so I'm going to say no. Looking at what happened to the rest of their friends, they're actually going to hug the wall and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not actually going to be able to get very far. This one should be able to get closer. It's probably going to go for Carter, who's the only one that is kind of outside of the fireflies.
He's kind of hugging the edge, but think he's out of it.
He is, just barely.
It's
That's a
15
21
foot.
and an 18 for Carter. Does an 18 hit Carter?
Discord
Um,
doing the thing.
Oh, no.
Probably.
Right now the ring is like right here for me.
Yeah. No, Carter is 19 armor class, so that's gonna be
Oh, there he
just.
goes.
There he goes.
Oh, there he goes.
So
Pretty
it's
bad.
4
only the
piercing
21.
damage.
I would-
Okay, but I think you adjusted the 4 piercing damage already, so.
Well, Mike isn't picking up for some reason.
Oh yeah,
Alright, there
sorry.
you go. We were
Fine.
here.
I could hear you.
Okay, we heard that one.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, the
Uh,
18 misses.
Oh, right, good. Okay, so just 4 piercing damage for you, and I believe that is all the gargoyles, because this one's still in the process of ringing around the fireflies. The deaths.
Alright. I mean, if you won't come to me, I'll come to you. Okay, so I don't know how Sanctuary interacts with attacks of opportunity. Because it says, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw.
I think since reactions, or it's using its reaction to attack.
Yeah, but they would still have to make
Yeah,
a
they'd still
wisdom
target
saving
you.
throw.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
she
I was
just
thinking.
steps away, and then they can make a wisdom save.
Gonna make a wisdom save to attack you. Probably not gonna roll super well. Nope, that's an 11.
And
So
the second one.
And those two both would have been able to take.
yeah. I'm wondering if because it misses you for an attack of opportunity, is it gonna take a swing at somebody else unrelated? No, that doesn't make any sense because it's an attack of opportunity.
I don't know.
Because it like
That was
glances
the
off of yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would it just go for somebody else who was not stepping away? That doesn't.
It just says must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Your ruling, TM.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know how that
don't
works with
fucking-
attack
That's
of
like an attack
opportunity.
of opportunity, so.
Because it's usually against someone who's leaving their range, but
Yeah, I mean, it also is one
The
of the.
spell itself is like a redirect thing, right? Like they can't attack you, so they're just wildly swinging elsewhere as a reaction.
I guess.
I'll take it. You guys are not gonna go down with this anyways. So. Oh, sorry, that was only supposed to be the one. That's only a 15, which I don't believe on
me?
Prey.
No. Yeah,
Prey.
no. Oh, I still have an AC at 23.
Doesn't hit. All right. Des. Oh, Des, what are you doing next? You're taking.
She just moves right here, and then I'll hold my action in case something fucks up my spiritual guardians, I guess, because I can't attack with a sanctuary up unless I want to drop it.
Okay. Cool. Cray, you're up.
Alright, well, I got a couple friends right next to me. I'm gonna have myself a party. Move Dionadar into position, and then just why would it shrink my character sheet? Why would it do that to me? And just have some fun. No, it won't let me. Alright, so
Yes.
26 for the first, 27,
Yes.
Hell yeah. Rolling
and
fire on attacks.
yeah, neither one of those was a crit.
I mean, either way, so.
26 damage from Bitey from the 2 attacks. Now, even though he just triggered the 19 triggers, it does he still do the base like 1d4?
I think it does, yes.
I know I have it written down, but that's says another 2 damage. 28.
All right.
22 to attack from Dionadar for another 7.
And that gargoyle goes down.
35. He will then move into position, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. It is the yellow gargoyle's time. Who will have to make wisdom saving throws because they're now in your.
Yay!
There's only one.
Yeah, there's only,
Yeah, there's
this
only
one
one.
left.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
21
We're
damage.
taking out all
And it
Team Yellow Dot.
fails.
Yep.
It fails, so it gets swarmed by fireflies and just knocks the fuck out. They just
Oh, my
destroy the
goodness.
Hell
stone.
yeah. Goodbye,
Alright.
yellow team.
Yep. Yellow team is officially out of the picture, so just
That's what they get for going first.
Alright,
All
I'm
right.
gonna swing on this one by Dessa.
This one?
Yes, that hits.
Alright, and
How are you always rolling above a 20? I swear to fucking
Right?
God. I'd ask if your dice are weighed, but like it's an online thing, so I don't understand.
and go ahead and make that strength save or go prone.
25. Let's see. Strength save. No. Prone.
Alright, and then here
That's like
comes
turn him sideways.
You just tripped a gargoyle.
Hell yeah.
It's
Here comes
loud.
the
It
second
sounds
attack.
like when you knock a
Crash.
statue over. Yes, 21 does hit.
Every time we have to fight gargoyles, I can never.
I don't think you're actually flanking, so why do you have advantage?
Because he's prone.
Oh, prone, you're right. You're right. 13 does not hit.
We know all the ways to get advantage.
Clearly. Alright, so hold on, I gotta do math real quick. That is 25 plus 35?
Yep.
Right.
It's still up?
It
Or
is still. Well, I mean, it's
alive.
down, but it's alive. On the ground,
Active.
making loud gargoyle noises.
And I'm
going,
gonna swing over this way.
right. Anything else?
I've trusted you to kill it, Seraph. No, that's it.
Alright, go,
That's all
Seraph.
for me.
I'm gonna move right here, and I'm gonna attack the one that's prone.
Uh-huh.
So I get advantage.
Nice.
Fuck!
Nice.
These are
Nice.
Well, you
normal
didn't
person
roll one.
rolls.
The fuck?
That was amazing.
But why?
I don't know. Oh,
Hilarious.
I
I
cannot
mean,
wait to continue my multi-class.
it's about as well as Des ever does with her weapons, too.
Right? It's pretty funny. There's a 1
Can
and a
I-
3.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Can I meta magic quicken spell?
Yeah.
To make it into a bonus action? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. And
Okay.
the thing you
I'm
can
going
do.
to cast, not at advantage, Sacred Flame on it.
Okay. Sacred flame that bitch.
Ignore the dueling.
Okay, that's a dex save, right?
Still a beef sacred flame.
Yeah,
Right?
that's nice.
That's
Yeah.
5. So yes,
Oof.
it takes, what is it? 12 radiant?
12 radiant.
And you blast it with a sacred flame. It does not seem to like it. It is screeching on the ground now,
Nice.
as it is covered with divine flames.
Whatever. Carter has advantage on this one, so.
Alright, next up is these gargoyles who have to make wisdom,
Wisdom
saving.
save
I
round.
hate.
I love
Everything
Spirit
takes
Guardians.
a quarter of
Spirit
its health.
Guardians, yeah,
Right.
because Spirit Guardians and Sanctuary are not both concentration. It's only
Nope.
Spirit
Nope.
Guardians.
Yup.
So Des can literally just frolic around the battlefield.
Yeah.
And as long as I do Spirit Guardians first, and then it's doing ambient damage, and I'm not
Oh,
doing like a spell damage,
Hell yeah, look at that. You love to see that one.
Oh my god.
and the 14 fails as well.
I think, well, yeah, I'll just keep it because I think their dex and their wisdom modifiers are the same because
We
I've
need
tried
to roll
to
one
roll.
more.
Or for one more.
There's
Yeah,
four.
wisdom is also 0, so
And they all
Nope.
fail.
And that is 21 points to each.
21 points of
21
damage
to
each.
each.
All right, fireflies, go to town on the one that's on the floor. This one also gets swarmed. This one also gets swarmed. Damn, gargoyles. Okay. But finally, they can attack. This one is going to go ahead and move up and flank to get advantage on Seraph.
Predicted
I
that.
told him to do that.
Anti-flanking.
Well, they only succeeded partially. That's 5 piercing damage to you on the 20.
That's fine. Even with shield,
and-
it still would have hit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
The other one is gonna wail on Carter because why not?
Nice.
Oh.
And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just swing back on him. You know.
Sure.
As you do.
You'll have
Like-
advantage too.
Wait,
Was it once per turn, or is it once per? Or
It's
was
a
once per?
reaction.
yeah, it's a reaction.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Ouch. What are you doing?
And it's great
Nice.
because
Grumble.
sneak works with
Grumble.
reaction. So as long as they miss me, I can take 2 sneaks a turn. As long as
Then what are you doing?
Yep.
Yeah, that'll knock him out.
We are becoming too strong for our own goods.
More stones go clattering. I really need to kill Carter.
Oops, did you say that out loud?
Feel it.
I feel like that might
What?
be
Did I?
a bit more difficult because you have to remember there's 2 healers.
Yeah.
I'm really considering doing something dumb in a couple of levels, and if I do, it's gonna make it even worse.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's fine.
I'm so curious.
I'm so curious too.
Alright, so then it's this guy's turn, and he's gonna try to wail on. Sure, let's go for Deonadar. Because Deonadar's been wailing
Attacking the dog, I'm calling
That
speed up.
monster, dude.
Oh, the crit!
I can cancel that crit.
Both of those
Okay.
hit. I'm upset by it, and I'm going to murder the fool who
At,
dared
Alright,
do
at
that.
that
least the
is
crit is
12
canceled.
points of
Yeah,
damage.
I'll at
for
least
Deonadar.
cancel the 4 off of that crit.
Yeah, that's 12 points of piercing damage to D. But that is the end of their turn.
Rolled a 15. Whatever. How dare it hit?
It can
D's
hit the
over
dog. Can't hit any of us.
I know.
Yeah. Alright, Des, you're up.
I mean, it hit me and Carter. Carter was also hit.
Yeah, it's hit me a bunch.
Okay. It has hit you a bunch. Then I will.
Yeah, I'm at about a 5 out of 10 right now.
Okay. 10.
5 out of 10 kittens.
Alright. Come over here and
Bouncing over the gargoyle.
Over the pebbles.
Over the pebbles on the ground, yeah.
I'll cast,
Waiting for all the rubble.
Cure Wounds on Carter.
Jess just comes over and goes, whap!
Smack.
You.
she forcibly high fives you, whether you wanted it or not.
Hey, I appreciate it.
What is the sound of one hand clapping?
Ow.
And then that was 10. That was 15 feet, right?
Yeah.
So then I will go back to where I stood.
I will say the dead gargoyles are relatively rough terrain, so roll me a really quick, just like, if you can stay there, or you can roll me a really quick acrobatics check to bounce over the destroyed gargoyle.
Acrobatics. I will
Just to make
sure
sure you
try.
Yeah, it's fine. DC was 10. I just made him to make sure you don't trip. Yeah, you're
Okay.
fine.
Now that I actually have a dexterity.
What?
That's
Nonsense.
right. Cray, you're up.
Alright, on this one, I'm going to start with a boobing blade.
A boobing blade.
A
Moving blade.
Actually, no, I'm going to start by casting Arcane Weapon and putting a base layer of thunder damage on my weapon, and then I'm also going to...
Super
yeah,
thunder.
I can do Booming Blade because it's a cantrip. Booming Blade attack. I'm going to make that an 18 with my flash of genius.
Don't forget, you got advantage too. You're flanking.
Oh, I
with-
do. Why didn't it roll with advantage? Well, there's my other 2 rolls. Okay, so 17.
All right.
17 hit.
Yes, 17 does it.
Alright, so that'll do 19 points of damage.
Don't remember how much it has. Okay, 19.
Boy, I looked and I just saw all the possible
Yeah.
all of-
elements. I was like, holy
Why
shit,
is
that is
thunder
awesome.
twice?
Dang.
Is
Thunder,
it-
thunder.
Thunder. Thunder.
Because I'm using arcane weapon as well as booming blade, and arcane weapon can do any of those,
okay.
and then
Double
booming blade
thunder.
does thunder.
There we
All
go.
right, and then I'm just gonna swing at him again. With a
Yes.
21.
Okay.
So it's a 9. So
9.
28.
9. Bill 9, the science guy.
All right.
Still up.
It is still up, just
Oh.
barely. You get the
Unfortunate. All right.
feeling not for long, given the fact that the fireflies are already swarming in.
Given the fact that it's his turn next and they take a round of wisdom.
You know, I
No,
don't
the
even know why I'm
15
rolling
the 15
because
were the yellow dots.
Look at that
Yeah,
one.
the yellow dots
You-
are gone. Yeah,
Oh.
15 was the yellow dots. They
Oh,
Carter
shit,
and-
you're right.
Or Carter and Seraph have a turn.
oh shit,
'Cause
you're
we're
right.
We're just down to team non-yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I mean,
Okay,
we
hold on.
just came in here like stonemasons, and we're just wrecking Strahd shit. We're like, we hate your
It is
statues.
cacophonous.
Fuck your
You
statues.
literally are like smashing rocks, and it is echoing all throughout the halls.
I mean, he did this to his own statues by letting them attack us.
I mean, to me, and as he's just swinging around and like fighting the gargoyle, this is just exercise after a nice meal. This is just good hostmanship. I appreciate this.
Death is standing in the middle holding the leftovers because she's not attacking.
Oh, I
She
forgot
isn't.
about that.
Yep, she's got the doggy bags.
Like dog, it just fireflies around you, and everyone's just wailing on it.
Yep.
Right, Carter, you're up.
All right, that was the first attack. I don't know if the 16 hits.
16 does hit.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for finally rolling like a normal human person.
for sentients made out of stone, they have pretty low AC.
I mean, they're made of stone.
They are made of
Not very
stone.
fast. Ooh.
I know, but
19,
you're laying on my
so
blanket.
close.
Give me my blanket.
Alright.
Don't
That
do it like
is
that. Up, down,
13
down.
radiant damage, okay, and 9.
Too good.
Yes,
We
I would
are-
say with that, you managed to go ahead and destroy that other one. You're just pummeling it with the sun sword, and the radiant is actually cutting through effectively well. You're essentially going lightsaber on it, and it is just slashing
Carving
through
bits
pieces
off.
of its. Yeah, you're just carving bits off, doing some masonry work. It's working great.
Carve it into a dick. Says Des because Des,
Doesn't
we
know.
have conversations.
Curve it into a dick.
There you go.
I'm not sure what that's for, but do it.
There. Yeah.
I'm going
What's a
to.
And you kill it before Spirit Guardians kills it.
Race
Throw
me.
your keyblade at it.
Yeah, you're essentially just like racing
Wait,
against
can
the
I reach
fireflies.
it? 5.
Yeah, you could get right to it because you were right there. So
Mhm.
10, 20, right there.
I'm gonna whack it.
Whack it.
Whack it. Yeah.
Whack it.
Yeah,
Very
that's
good.
whacking
There
it.
you go. You did it.
You don't even need to roll. Okay.
Too bad.
I like how my radiant's just like nah.
One.
Nah.
Out of a whole d6.
You solved your gargoyle puzzle.
Hooray!
Oh my god, I actually killed something with my
You
keyblade.
did.
It kind of makes like a uncomfortable face, and then lets out a very deep, satisfying belch.
Ugh.
Oh,
Indigestion.
Oh, just oh.
All right.
So
Well,
do we
let's
keep
see.
exploring? Or
All right.
that'll be
Who needs some healing?
I could use a little bit of heals.
cast
Walk
mending.
over to you. Hi.
Run into each other.
Do
It's
I
like
I have healing.
Staying
hands.
on one side of the
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to.
Yeah.
One person goes left and the other way
Yep.
goes right, and you just keep intercepting each other.
Yep.
Essentially.
Healing hands is once per day. Yeah, once per
I
day.
believe so.
You know.
For
I'm just gonna use healing hands on him. And
Mhm.
here, let me link that.
is it your level?
Equal to my level, yeah. So
Yeah.
8.
You should be. Everybody should be level 9. Well, oh no, you didn't
No,
level
we
up
didn't
with
get
them.
level
No, we
up.
didn't get level 9. We didn't explore.
That's
We didn't
right.
want to pick up Kresk.
That's
Because he
right.
took his
That's
dress
right.
and played alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he went to go play dress up with himself.
Just to be
Didn't
safe,
even invite
Carter's
us.
gonna take a real deep breath.
And just do second wind.
Yep.
You steady and center yourself, and you regain some hit points.
Are we
Right.
really that low?
No joke. I was at about half health even after death healed me up.
They were wailing on you.
Small wound on
Oh
your
yeah,
shoulder.
but now I'm good. Yeah, they were actually surprisingly landing the shots.
I know, for once in my freaking life. All right.
Until they all died from, constant radiant damage.
Yeah, that fucking sanctuary, man.
Spirit
Well-
Guardian and Sanctuary
yeah,
is a
Spirit
good
Guardian and
combination, dude.
It's pretty dope, especially for mobs.
Yeah.
That's kind of my go-to if we have a group of enemies more than like 4.
Yeah.
Just churn away. I mean, you were doing like
A lot of damage.
60 to 100
Because they were
DPR.
all failing.
Yeah, they
Hell
kept
yeah.
failing. It was insane.
Yeah,
It
and it's
buys
not worth.
us so much time. We can just
Right.
go rolling on too.
And it's not even worth me like attacking and potentially dropping sanctuary into potentially losing my concentration, like to just keep consistently getting that like wolf damage.
You're like the perfect example of a tank healer. Untouchable.
Yeah, the immovable object. meets
Except it's like an
unstoppable
anti-tank
force.
because I make them attack my other party members.
Yeah, remember we went
Yeah.
over this with freaking Hawk, where he was
Right.
like, "I'm gonna be a frontline tank, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna put up sanctuary," and I'm sitting there on my barbarian like,
That's not a
"Thanks,
tank.
dude.
Yeah,
I guess I'm gonna be
that's
the
the
tank
opposite of
now."
what a tank does.
Yeah.
The
It's like
idea is
an
to put
anti-tank.
sanctuary on me,
Other
but that
people?
wouldn't have lasted long because
No,
I
because you're
would
just gonna attack
immediately-
right away.
Yeah, like especially Retsuko was just like she was too much like Rogs. Like the two of them they channel that same like inner fury and just that madness, and I love it. I love it so much.
All right.
I
I
have
do
a
think
tiny,
we're
I
a
have
little
tiny
bit.
cobalt to myself.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
probably gonna
my
have to
own.
call it now, and I'll try to think of something that we could potentially fuck around in the castle for. Otherwise, we could just leave, I guess.
I mean, out of character, and Cray wouldn't say this here. I thought we were like doing that whole symbol of Castle Ravenloft.
Yeah,
that we
I
thought
looked
was
for
here.
it, and that was what didn't come back.
Well, only within 1,000 feet of you.
Yeah, but
Oh, you were doing locate object. Okay.
Yes, but I mean, like, unless we keep exploring, I can't cover more ground.
What
So
level spell is that? Is that a level 1?
2.
That's level 2. Okay.
But that's what she was looking for, and nothing came back apparently.
Yeah, well,
So we can either explore the castle or run away, I guess.
I said breastplate, and I am considering asking the gods of time and fate if I could change the words I spoke to half plate instead, because I've come to get used to the stealth disadvantage, and the original idea of the breastplate was to not have the stealth disadvantage. Yeah, but I'd rather just get the extra 1 AC.
If he gives us anything at all.
If you can find anything at all. I swear to God, it's like, well, you seem to not understand that there's nothing down there to help adventurers.
Right? I can give you gold. Well, we can't buy anything.
There's
Nobody's
nothing
selling
to
shit.
buy down there.
Because nobody's selling anything worthwhile.
Oh my God, it is fucking great.
Hey, Dumas sells great wares.
He
Yeah, and
does.
apparently
And-
he disappeared. What did
and-
you do with Dumas?
What do you mean? Dumas lives on in your heart.
No.
Does he
He's
know
not
if,
supposed to be there when we
if
get
he's
back.
not there when we get back?
I'm gonna cry.
We're gonna tear Chris to
Sabin's
the
gonna
ground.
cry.
And,
We're just gonna
roll
go fight
through
the
hell.
Abbey and then have the town burn to the ground.
All right. All right. Well, you guys have just done some excellent masonry work. The whole ground is covered with destroyed gargoyles, but for the time being, the castle is once more relatively quiet.
All right.
So let's end it here. I suppose next time when you come back, you can decide whether shenanigans you're about to get up to during your. I would say you have about 45 minutes left
Okay.
before
I
your
have
carriage has left.
4 spell slots left, each 10 minutes for the locate object.
All right. That gives us just pretty much enough time. And
Yeah.
then make beeline for wherever the carriage is.
Just jump out a window to be like, don't leave without us!
It's gonna be like that meme. If you could live in the anime world, would you jump out a window?
I mean,
Just see all the people jumping out.
Why not?
why not?
Who needs ankles?
All right, guys. Well, thank you for meeting the guy.
The man.
Finally,
The
sat
man.
down and had
yeah.
dinner.
Are we gonna get an actual picture of him? Other than
Oh, wait.
the cover?
Is there not actually a handout of him? I do believe there is several.
I don't think we ever got one, but
Yeah, I don't think we got one.
I think
there is.
there is, I'm sure, a handout of him, but I think it's pretty much what you've already seen. Hold on. Handouts. Named NPC handouts.
Mr. Strahd.
Mr. Strahd. I mean, it's basically
There he
that.
is. Right, it's pretty much just the book cover, but
Okay.
Yeah, essentially. Although it's weird because this art of him is slightly different from the art that's shown on his token.
interesting.
Because the token is a little bit different and makes him look somewhat more human.
Right. Nice
'Cause,
widow's
like-
peak. Nerd.
Going to Strahd's castle, bully Strahd.
Yes. I mean, is that not what we're here to do?
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
It
Yeah,
was just a different angle. Makes him look better.
Yeah.
it's
That's
definitely
his selfie
That's
angle.
his, that's what he posts on dating websites.
Yeah. Only looking for Irina. That's it.
I mean, he entertains himself with other things while waiting for her to apparently get back to his side, as he assumes.
Like cats.
like cats.
Yes,
Yeah,
like cats.
Yeah.
I don't know,
cats.
That was the example that Dumas chose to use, and it did not make anything clear.
Nope. Dumas was not the one that should have had that conversation.
No.
And
To be fair, Dumas
that
didn't
is
really go into that
exactly why Carter
conversation
let him
knowing how
go.
to...
oh my god, that was brilliant.
But yeah, like she was dropped off as a child at the church, and had the priest, and pretty much learned everything she knows from books. And not a whole lot of religious texts go into the art of,
Love
sex
making.
or childbearing.
I can't wait to continue this conversation at
Right?
an awkward later time.
I am extremely excited. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah, I cannot stress seriously how caught off guard I was when Dumas said it.
Trust me, if the conversation does come back up and Seraph is sober, there will be visuals. So.
I mean, you can sure try. I can't promise you she'll understand what they are.
Ray's gonna get out a big stone slab and just use his magical tinkering to use it like a chalkboard. Drawing diagrams, awkwardly close to what it really is, but not quite because he doesn't want to make it too graphic.
And I'm just gonna pitch in and be like, Cray, you're doing it wrong. Give me that.
I mean, you won't be
Gonna
able
go
to make it
full
work.
I know, I
anatomical
won't be able to make it
lessons.
work.
All right, well,
guys. Well, that was
thank you.
fun.
Yeah,
Hell
always
yeah.
a blast.
And
Thank you.
Cade, whenever you want to get together to talk about my item for tyranny,
Oh yeah.
let me know.
Whenever we actually have time.
It'll be. Actually, we need to do Icewind next, so it'll probably be either early next week or something.
Okay.
We got Iceman this weekend since we couldn't fire last weekend. 'Cause
No.
shit. You guys gotta get on with it.
Hey,
Get there.
I
on
was
with it.
fine. Hawk
I
wasn't.
know.
Right.
And then he was, and I was like, so we could have played Saturday anyway, because your flight's got
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Great.
neat.
Awesome. Well, all right. Anyway, we're gonna just chill tonight then.
Right.
Yeah,
But-
relax, have fun.
Yep. All right. Anyway, y'all have a good night.
Yep, you guys do. Thanks.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.